Welcome to another Manifest Actual Play stream. Before we get started, Addie, I believe, has at least a couple announcements to kick it off. So, Addie, take it away.
So we had a great weekend at C2E2. We shared our booth with our artist, Crystal Sully, who is amazing, and we love her. And we put on some cool events as well, and just had a really nice time here in Chicago. So we also had the opportunity to get some cool manifest merch online, and by online I mean in our hands, not on the internet. Though I'm all over the place tonight. Guys, if there's ever a day when I'm not all over the place, you let me know.
Yeah, in case anyone
Um,
was wondering, those of you who didn't go to C2E2, Addie ran all of the Dungeons and Dragons at C2E2, and she only had one day of respite before we streamed, so she's still a little wonky. Hasn't gotten enough sleep.
yeah. And yeah, to all those 1,500 people, thanks for playing.
So tell
Anyway.
us about Crystal's cool stuff, Addie. Do you need me to take over? You got
No,
this.
I'm fine. I got it. Hooah. Yeah. So, so we had so many requests for manifest pre-orders that we've opened pre-orders back up for a limited event for the week after C2E2. We because we're delayed because of the coronavirus, we have an opportunity to up our numbers if we have more pre-orders. So if your friends or relatives, general acquaintances, or you want to pick up a copy when it comes out, go to our backer kit. You can find the link through our website or on our social media, or our Kickstarter page, and grab one of those super cool books we're going to be sending out hopefully very soon. That brings me to the sad announcement that we are still waiting for the sort of embargo or lowered production on some of our supply chain to make the books happen. They are ready to go. We just, like, all the files are out there and sent and amazing, but we are still waiting in line for our publisher. We've looked everywhere. Everybody in the publishing industry is kind of like suffering this fate right now, but as soon as we have an update, for those of you who have backed us or want to back us, um, we will keep you updated as soon as we have anything else that we know. We want to keep super communicative, and the best place to get your updates is right here every week at Tuesday at 8 o'clock Central Time. So circling back to C2E2, we shared our booth with our artist Crystal Sully. She's a creature artist and the mother of dragons, and just amazing. And she is so amazing that she gave us a couple of packets of prints of the manifest critter art. Some of the like cooler drawings that she's made, and so we have them available, and we wanted to do something awesome for those of you who subscribe to our Twitch channel. So we are going to be doing a giveaway next week on the stream. We're gonna give out a code and then go to intermission, and you guys are going to be able to give that code word in the chat if you subscribe. And you could win this very cool set of prints autographed by Crystal. It is art that is going to go in the book, and so you would be the first people to really get your hands on it, and it is super duper cool. So Tommy's showing you a bunch of it. If you go onto Crystal's Twitter, which is at Crystal Sully, or our Twitter at Manifest RPG, you can look at it in digital format.
Yeah, so tune in next week.
Yeah, so tune in next week and make sure you subscribe, which comes to the last announcement, which is please do subscribe to our channel if you have the bandwidth to do so. We love you, and all of the money will go to upgrading the stream. It's not going to go to us. It's going to go right back in to make your viewing experience a better one. And as a thank you, you'll be eligible for cool prizes and stuff. If you have a Twitch account, every 30 days, you can subscribe to us. And
If you have an
using
Amazon Prime
using
account.
Amazon Prime account. Sorry. An Amazon Prime account, you can every 30 days subscribe to our channel. So make sure if you've already subscribed using Twitch that you have you don't have to re-up, and that because it's not on a monthly basis, it's on a 30-day period. I think that's it.
All right.
I hope I said it in a way that was cogent.
I understood it. Yeah, this artwork is super cool, guys. And you get all 5 of these creatures in a little bundle if you win next week. So definitely tune in and enter that giveaway. But if that is it for announcements, we are going to jump into the actual play. And we're going to do a little bit of recap. So Kinsey, Pax, and Roland have been helping out the town of Soldina in the far western edge, northwestern edge of the Badlands. They entered this town and found out that the nomad pack for this region was strangely late for their delivery, and then they found out that then one of those nomads drove into town dead, and suspicion was laid on a tribe that neighbored the town to the south, the Ophidian clan. So these 3 drifters went and befriended the Ophidian clan, found out that they had no idea what was going on with the Riveteers, the local nomad pack, and also that a couple of their scouts had gone missing. So they were basically also hired by the Ophidian clan to investigate, because it turns out no member of that clan can leave their territory around the Snake Eye Canyons because of some strange ailment that befalls them if they exit their land. Bravely, one of the Ophidian clan's scouts made their way to Soldina with these 3 drifters to confirm the person who drove into town dead was in fact a Riveteer. Her name is Sky, and she did confirm that the Riveteer was that the dead body was a Riveteer named Deke. She also definitely has fallen ill. She's feeling extremely weak and has been showing signs of the disease that seems to plague the Ophidian clan members when they leave their land. So she's got to get back home soon if she wants to recover. But also, when they returned to Soldina, they found another nomad pack collecting supplies from the town and offering to transit them in the stead of the Riveteers. This nomad pack was called the Cloud Cutters, and Roland saw right through their grift. With a miraculous roll, Roland was able to, in a very short exchange with Dante Keller, Roland was able to realize that the Cloud Cutters are behind the missing Riveteers, that they've somehow moved against the Riveteers in a way that has driven them into the mountain range to the west, and that they're attempting to move in on the Riveteers' turf, basically. So when confronted with this truth, the Cloud Cutters up and ran. They jumped in their hover cars, lit up their jetpacks, and tried to boogie out of town. And a couple of them made it away in the hover car. One of them died dramatically, crashing into the LRC tower. And then one died even more dramatically as Pax grappled on his back of his jetpack and eventually saved herself right before he crashed because he could not gain control of his of his jetpack. And that's where we left off. Kinsey and Roland both hurt. And Pax on the outskirts of town, just beyond the trench that surrounds Soldina, having survived the crash landing of this jetpack. So my question for the three of you is, what do you do? The town is like, they kind of scattered during the fight, right? But like they're starting to peek around and like come out, and then like there's like a lot of like discussion happening as people are like not sure what's gonna happen next.
Hey, is anyone a doctor? Just is anyone a doctor?
There's like a slight pause, and then Elliot Wells comes out from around a corner, and he goes, "We don't have a doctor per se. Myself and Duke," he gestures towards an alley where Duke is kind of like off to the side. Myself and Duke, we have some medical expertise between the two of us. I do have to ask though, Mr. What's your fake name? Harris?
Yeah.
Mr. Harris. What was that? and then Duke is like, these damn drifters are chasing out our goods. I had goods in that car, and like the town is actually starting to move their way towards where some of the goods had fallen into the trench. They're like rushing at, like some of the town is like rushing that way to see what can be recovered. And he goes, "This is what we get for trusting drifters. They always shoot first, ask questions later."
Well, no, that's factually incorrect. I asked a lot of questions before the shooting started, but if like the two of you combine into one doctor, Kinsey, are you alive over there? Oh, thank God! All right.
I think Kinsey pulls himself to his feet and kind of like honks at him. Spits it out on the ground, and I'm using my talent Second Wind, and counting this as a rest, I'm going to regain 10 hit points, which puts me back at full.
Oh, great. Yeah, just walk it off.
Kinsey stands up and looks surprisingly fine.
Yeah, all right. No, that one looked bad from afar, but I guess, I'm a good fighter.
Yeah, let's get you into, like, is there a table nearby? I'd like to lay him down.
Yeah, because like this, I point to like the zone that has been shot and covered in mud and dirt. Like this is infected.
Yeah, that's not good. That can we? And I'm gonna pull like.
Hey, Pax, are you alive?
What?
All right, great. Yeah.
Come on,
I pick up like whatever's left of this guy by like his leg and just start
dragging him into town. Yeah, he's like, you gotta pat out some fire that's like on his side. It doesn't take a lot. You just kind of like pat that out and then grab his leg.
After my jetpack suplex, I'm just gonna like pick him up by his ankle and start dragging him.
Yeah, he's pretty like broken, and the jetpack is like slag, but
he can't feel it.
Yeah, no, you grab his leg and just start dragging him. You're strong enough to do it. As you do, you get to like the bridge into the north side of town, and you see some of the townsfolk there like pulling crates and stuff out of the trench, and they see you and they kind of back up away from all of their stuff.
I'm gonna drop into the trench and start handing stuff up and be like, "Come on, it's heavy."
You do that, and they kind of sit there and look around, and then a tall, slender, but also muscular, like very lithe man, with sharp, relatively handsome features, even though he's like in his like, late 40s, early 50s. He still looks like a little young. He's got a little bit of gray in his like neatly cut hair. He's wearing like what you can see is like relatively dirty like clothes, like the equivalent of like overalls, not quite denim, and like rolled up sleeves. And he steps forward and goes, "All right," and reaches down, grabs it. and starts handing off. He's like, "You heard the lady," and he's moving the crates with you. Meanwhile, Roland and Kinsey, Lola Douglas chimes up and goes, "What the hell was that? I had paintings in that car." And Duke says, "The drifters just up and shot these folks." And Elliot is like, now, I'm sure there is a perfectly legitimate reason for what just happened. Mr. Harris, care to enlighten us?
Yeah, I think while they were like starting to shout, I was just sort of like, all right, I'm just gonna like sit down and wait for the doctor to come to me. I guess. Yeah. All right. See, here's the thing. One, again, this is infected. Two, the cloud cutters they ain't here to help you. They're here to price gouge you and take over your nomad pack needs from the Riveteers on account of, I don't know. It's math, right? Right, Father? You can tell them. It's just math, right? You sent out the call when we left, and they got here in an amount of time that don't add up unless they already knew they had to be here. And plus, as soon as we asked any questions about him, he got in his car and ran.
Michelle Green comes around the corner, sees like you sitting on the ground bleeding, sees Kinsey with his armor torn up, like coming to your side, the smoldering like wreckage off in the distance, and the crumpled dead body and the smoldering wreckage next to the LRC tower. And she goes, "Jesus, Harris, I told you to talk to the man."
Well, sometimes words get heated.
And Father Wells goes, all right. Duke, do me a favor. Grab some supplies from your shop. And Duke kind of bristles at that and goes, "My supplies? Half my supplies are in that car. Hopefully in the trench. Are you kidding me?" And Elliot goes, "Please, if we want to hear what he has to say, we have to tend to the man." And Duke kind of like, "Fine, but he's gonna pay."
Well, hey, like, we're gonna figure the rest of it out and like fix the whole thing. We're just at sort of the juncture in between you realizing you got a problem and it being solved.
"I don't give away services for free." And he starts like storming off, and Elliot is like, I'll talk to him."
That's fine. I can do it myself poorly, but like if someone else knows how to do it well, that would be great.
Are we nearby the
Nearby what?
the inn, the bar?
Yeah. So you're nearby the Triptych Church, in between the Triptych Church and the LRC tower, and just next to the Triptych Church is the saloon.
Yeah, so I think Kinsey has is coming out with a bottle of like high proof grain alcohol, and he's going to start pouring it on the shoulder.
So you start walking that way, and Michelle Green gets in. She goes, "Whoa! What? You're looting now? Come on! I mean, I was on your side, but."
All right, here. How much? Just take a spur. Take the spur, okay?
She takes a spur and she goes, and she like as you're like walking by, she grabs the bottle by the bottom and like holds the spur and presses it up against a certain part of the bottle and goes, "That far." "This gets you that far." And then she goes, "Go on then."
This town is in crisis, and all people want to know about is their goods and their things. I mean, I understand economy, but Jesus Christ.
And then a woman you haven't actually spoken to before speaks up. Let me. She's got like wiry, like wide hair that's not evenly cut. It is just kind of like sticking out. It's not like super far from her head, but it's a little messy. She despite this though, she does have like pretty kind and nice features. She's in her like early 40s, and she steps out and like kind of polishes her monocle and puts it back in and goes, "Well, actually, I think the concern is warranted. those of us that put product with those nomads, I mean, they made us pay for their services, and we're out quite a lot. I myself, I had to pay a whole 38 spurs, and I certainly hope my crate is returned. Otherwise, I'm out all of my money and my product, my books. Rosita Ramos. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, I suppose.
Yeah, it's wonderful to meet you, Miss Ramos. Like I said, I promise you, we're gonna do the rest of the job we already agreed to do, which was figure out what's going on with the Riveteers and remedy the situation. I understand their tensions are high, people are scared, a con man has run away with your goods and your spurs, but that's what Mr. Killer was, a con man. Like, they waylaid the Riveteers, they show up singing about how they're here to rescue you, but oh no, it's gonna have to cost them extra because, well, on account of how fast they done come and how nice their cars is, but really, like, they just want your monies. All of it. They don't care about you.
The whiskey gets poured on your wound.
God damn it, Kinsey.
You said it was going to get infected. I'm just
No,
trying.
I said it was infected.
But I want to stop it from getting more. I don't know if this is helping.
You know what? I don't either, Kinsey. That's why I asked for a doctor.
Duke returns with some. What do we? It was Addie adjusting her camera, but we all got to see inside her.
I figured it out eventually.
Duke returns with a small crate and like a med kit. And as he's coming up, Father Wells goes, "Do you have 2 spurs?"
Yeah, listen, do I? Yeah, I got 2 spurs. Take the 2 spurs. Do doctor work on me.
He takes it and he goes, "Down payment, all right? I can cover the rest if they can't." And Duke looks at it and goes, "I'm trusting you, Wells." He pockets it and sets it down. Meanwhile, Pax, you finish getting the crates out. They're looking through it. And this man with like the sharp features reaches his arm down to help you out. Up. You're muted, I think.
Yeah, I'll reach up and take his hand and
he pulls you out of the trench and he goes, "So tell me, y'all just usually come in shooting?"
Sometimes. Depends on the situation.
Well,
I don't think that was the plan this time.
You don't think? I can see a couple
plan
of
is
my...
stay alive. And the mandate was, if you call, I'll come running. That's what happened. I wasn't, if you notice, I didn't shoot anybody.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what happened. All I can see is some of my stuff is missing and I'm out 46 spurs. I hope y'all can deliver on your promise. That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, this town is a ghost town.
If we don't, hopefully it'll give you some solace to know that we're dead.
All right, then. He nods towards the dead body and goes, "Think that's useful?"
I don't know. I usually would have somebody a little bit smarter than me take a look.
All right, then. And he grabs a crate and starts walking back with the town, leaving you with the dead body.
Wait, he took the body?
No, he took one of the crates. He
Okay.
grabbed one of the crates, and the townsfolk are trying to like bring it into the center of town, seeming like they're trying to take an inventory of what fell out of the car.
Sure. I'll I have like a jacket. I'll like put my jacket over the body and help bring crates into the middle of town. It feels like the appropriate thing to do.
You start, and the man goes, "You tend to that. We got this. Thanks. Appreciate it, but there's enough of us here. And ain't no one want a dead body sitting on the bridge for too long."
Okay. Pick up my jacket. Couldn't stop me before I put my jacket on him. And I will drag the body, I guess. I guess I won't drag the body at this point. I'll like pick it up if it's not. Nah, I've been dragging it. It's gross. I'm gonna drag it the rest of the way. I'll drag it behind the houses, like along the trench, so it's not.
I mean, it's the trench goes around the town. So are you trying to take it to where everyone else is? Because that's down the thoroughfare. The trench goes around the town. You're on.
Yeah, no, sorry. I meant like in between the like trench and the houses or whatever, like through the back. Is that not possible?
That would be probably more effort than it's worth. Because there's like, it's not super clean alleys or anything like that.
All right. Well, I don't know how to solve this problem, so I will just continue doing what I did before.
Yeah. I was going to say, it doesn't seem like a very big problem. No one seems super upset that you're dragging this person back into town.
I could be more polite with the body, but I'm tired.
But the important thing is you don't have to be.
Let's see.
While Duke gets started, does someone want to give Sky a ride back towards the canyon? Because she worked great like 10, 15 minutes ago, and it's longer than that now.
Yeah, what's, I don't know the starting sequence for the truck. Can you just explain it to me, I suppose?
No, I mean, I'll show you.
Oh, sorry. Didn't know you were back. There you are.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to me. I can hear you from across the way.
I always do that.
I'll meet you at the car.
All right. And is Sky? Well, I'll just put Sky's arm around me, and I'll take it to the car.
So you go back towards where you last saw Sky, kind of like behind the Triptych Church-ish area. She's kind of like in that alleyway. She has collapsed. You come around the corner and you see her. She is laying on the ground. She's still breathing, but she is unconscious.
All right. Can I pick her up easily?
Yes. What's your muscle?
4.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right. So carry her over to the car and. All right, come on. We've got to get out of here. She's not doing well. She's kind of unconscious at the moment.
Roland, you heal up 5 hit points.
Oh, I'm not hit point hurt at all. I just have a class 3 injury that is making it so I only own 4 hit points.
Gotcha. Okay, in that case, I think Elliot starts getting to work and looks at like the wound and is like, oh, and then looks at Duke and he goes, Duke, I think I need something extra. And Duke like grits his teeth and goes, it's 6 spurs, market price.
Hey, Duke, hold on. Listen, just talk to me for a minute. All right, what's going on here?
What's going on here?
Hold on. No, sorry. That was misleading. I'm very hurt. You got to forgive me. When I said talk to me, I meant listen. Like, I get it. You're out your goods. You're out your spurs. You got bamboozled by a con man, and that feels shitty. That ain't my fault. All right? In fact, right now, I'm currently in charge of the operation that's getting you all them spurs and your goods back. And you know how I can't do that? With this.
He goes, spurs. I tell you, spurs. 50 spurs they charge me. And what I can
Yeah,
see,
it's
he says, like looking at some of the
Downright
crates,
highway robbery.
looking at some of the cards,
Except
he
you
goes,
ain't on a highway.
looks at some of the crates, and he goes, and they got away with some of my product. So way I see it, I need to make sure I can eat this month. Go ahead and roll manipulate. You are up against a 10.
I got an 11, an 11, and a 12.
Okay. I'll spend some grit so you can get a grit. Just so I can count this 11. And I was Trixie. I wasn't making you be the aggressor. I was making you be the defender.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I was the aggressor that whole conversation where I told him to do a thing.
But this is what you get with your one net hit. Duke is not being truthful. Because you have playing the players, so...
I see.
Yeah. Duke is not being truthful. You think he is putting on a bit of a show. He is basically kind of being like, I'm out of...
I also was hurt by these con men, fellow townspeople.
Yeah, you get that kind of feel from him, but then he's like, you know what? Fine. You know what? If we're gonna pack up town and go live in Soft Bend, I guess it don't matter if I use up another tonic. And he pulls off a tonic and like says, drink this. And hands you a tonic to drink.
I will take that tonic.
Okay, cool. With that tonic...
Hold on. I didn't say I was going to drink it.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I've been in this position on his end before, and I don't think Duke intends to murder me with a poison tonic, but I know what can be done from the position. Yeah, I will, I don't know. Hey, with my 8 reasoning and 8 first aid, would I know that a tonic isn't going to do anything for the injury I have?
No. You would know that there is a tonic that will actually help with help with the process of healing, basically.
Oh, that's news to me. Damn.
Yes, it is.
Great. Cool. I will eye him and drink it while maintaining eye contact.
Cool. With that tonic, Father Wells is able to, you feel this kind of the sensation, this cooling sensation that immediately gets in your bloodstream and kind of coalesces around the wound. And Father Wells goes, all right, here we go. And he starts applying some medicine. And with that, he reduces all of the rests you would need. Instead of reducing it to only 1 rest. He reduces all of the rests you would need to recover from this injury, and you can remove it from your sheet.
Okay, you can only heal 1 injury at a time, correct?
Yeah, that roll was just the 1 injury.
Okay, and a class 1 injury is still 1 rest?
Yep.
Okay. It's not actually affecting me other than taking up an injury slot at this point.
Cool. So that's what's going on there. Kinsey, you watch as the townsfolk are looking through the stuff while Duke and Father Wells are working on Roland. They're looking through, and from what you can gather, just kind of watching, it seems that Lola Douglas was able to recover all of her paintings. Rosita Ramos seems to be missing some of her supplies, some of her books. A man you haven't met before who has slick kind of coiffed hair and extremely elegant clothing, at least for this town, kind of vibrant colors. He also seems to be missing something. He's in his mid to late 50s. This man who Pax was talking to nearby the town edge with the kind of sharp features, the sharp, handsome features, he is missing some boxes. And that's what you're able to get. Other people are able to collect their things entirely. And you're getting the unconscious Sky into the car. Pax, you're there, kind of hitting the switches.
I dropped the body at the church, I think, probably. Is that correct?
Sure. I mean, that's relatively on the way. They got the car like started. It's by the saloon in the church, so like you can like drop the body in front of the church if you want.
Sure. All right. Kinsey, do you actually know how to drive a car?
I've driven a car before, once or twice. Yeah. I'd say if you put my driving skill on some sort of scale, it would be around a 7 out of 13. Odd way to say it, I know, but
That is an odd way to say it.
But it is accurate.
Okay. Well, just be careful. I think she needs to get there quickly. So if you feel like you can go alone and get there quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the spot that I said?
Oh yeah, the line.
That's where you have to get, and yes. You should go now.
Yeah. Well.
Do you want me to come with you?
No. I've got it. Yes, I'm trying to leave.
You do know that you're sending Kinsey about like half a day, roughly, or maybe a little less, out of town. Like it's a handful of hours, at least, before Kinsey gets to that line. That's you know that Kinsey's basically you are definitely removing Kinsey from any situation by sending him alone. It's not like because remember you drove for several hours before you saw the town after she told you.
Sure. Hey, friend of mine, I yell out to Roland because I can't remember his name.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you want to come with us? We got to get Sky to the line. I can bring you to the car, or do you want to stay here? It's up to you.
Oh, I want to do both.
You have 2 seconds to decide. 1.
I guess I'm
2.
going to the car.
Don't drive away yet.
I'm good. I can walk. Thank you very much, Duke.
I'm already like halfway there, and I like pick him up and throw him over my shoulder and
you just pick up Roland.
Yeah, and run him to the car.
Lolo Douglas is like, "Where are they going?" And then Duke says, "What? You just up and run?" And then Father Wells is like, "Please, there's a woman in danger. She is an Ophidian clan member. We are their friends, and she must return to their land. You know how it is." And everyone starts like shouting. He goes, "No, hey, everyone, 5 minutes in the church. We're having a town meeting." And he turns back to you and he goes, "Go, get her safe."
I will. If it's just like me and Father Wells at this point.
Sure.
As I'm being carried away.
Pat has you, yeah.
Pat, stop. 1 sec. Hey, Duke's hiding something. Keep an eye on him.
What?
Time to go. Ugh.
You gotta understand, I'm extremely good at this. Trust my instinct.
I'll throw him in the car and hop in the back. Kinsey, I swear to everything, if you crash my car.
Oh, hey, no, listen, I can drive. It's fine. Kinsey, navigate.
I was excited to drive the car this time.
High pressure situation, Kinsey. Lives are on the line.
Fair enough.
As you're loading into the car and about to get out, Michelle Green gets up by the window. Like you turn off to the side and you're about to gun it. She gets up to the window and grabs on for a second, and she goes, "Y'all come back. Y'all make good on your promise, and I vouch for you."
Yeah, no, we will. I promise. Also, Duke's hiding something. Keep an eye on him.
As you're driving off, you look in the rear view. She seems much less confused by that statement. She goes... Just like a face of like, oh, that motherfucker. All right. Cool. So you head south. Roland, go ahead and roll a drive test for me.
I will indeed. I'm driving my preferred vehicle.
I forget, does this vehicle have off-road?
Yes.
Continue, Roland.
I'm so good at cars. 3 hits.
Oh, this is a truck.
Oh wait, cars and trucks are different things. They both got 4 wheels.
I know, I
Can
know.
someone tell me? It doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. 4 hits, you said?
3 hits. I
3.
stand by my statement. They both got 4 wheels.
All right. 3 successes. You start making good time. You just gun it. You're flooring it, and you're Kinsey's able, like, you know, with Kinsey's like, remember to stay nearby the bushes, you know, that kind of thing. So you're able to avoid anything that would maybe have a wasset. And you're driving through like pretty rough terrain. It's a rough ride, but the extra suspension on the truck helps you like kind of keep it. Pax, you are in the back with Sky.
No, Sky's in the front seat.
Okay. Where is Roland? You're driving. Sky is also in the cab.
Yeah, buckled in the front.
All right. Someone has to be in the back, right? Because there's only 3
I'm in
seats.
the back.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Pax is in the back.
'Cause
So
no one's in the back with me.
So Kinsey, you feel this heat coming off of Sky, and she's covered in sweat, and she looks terrible, and she's completely unconscious. Her body just kind of limply like bouncing around with the movement of the truck. And Pax, you're in the back. Go ahead and roll an observe test for me.
Okay. Challenge accepted. Should have raised my observe.
Oh, man. We're gonna get killed by an elder wasset while we try to deliver this lady back to the canyon.
I know, right? Oh, that's pretty good.
You're up against a 9.
Haha, get wrecked. I have 2 hits, a 10 and an 11.
All right. So with 2 net successes, Pax, you're, sitting in the back, kind of stressing, and you're looking around as you do, making sure that Roland's not about to drive your car into a wasset. And
Your truck.
Sorry, yes, your truck. And as you guys are getting, like, you're about halfway to the line, roughly. The town of Soldina has faded into the distance, and you know that you're making good time almost to the line, but not quite. Maybe a little more than half. Maybe like 3/5 of the way to the line where she told you that the Ophidian curse basically started to afflict her. You see in the distance, closing in fast, 4 figures in the sky.
In the sky?
Yep.
Okay.
And as you see that, you kind of like see it like kind of like there's like the heat kind of like warping your vision a little bit. You just see like, are those birds? Is that like caloos or something like that? And then as they get a little bit closer, you realize flying at you super fast are 4 people with jetpacks. Jetpacks of a similar design to the cloud cutters you saw before.
Am I intimately familiar with these kinds of jetpacks?
It's very familiar. You see they have that kind of like central like shaft and then like the 2 kind of short wings, and they're flying right at you guys.
Cool. I'm gonna get the bow Kinsey made for me out, and I think that's a better option. Yeah, and the precision ammo.
I'll mechanically tell you really quick. Precision ammo reduces cover, and jetpacks provide no cover.
Sure.
Famously.
Piercing.
Yeah,
So broadhead ammo.
if you're getting
takes
ready
away the
before you choose what ammo, right? If you're getting ready to shoot with the bow, they're definitely at a pretty long range for the bow.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you don't have to tell me right now what ammo you get. You can tell me when you shoot the bow for the first time.
Okay.
So you grab you like put your quiver on, grab your bow, and you see it.
Yeah, and I knock on the roof like poof, 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 and it's like, we got company.
And Roland and Kinsey, you look back and you're able to see these figures flying right at you guys. And we are going to jump into initiative.
Dun, 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 dun.
Does my injury count for this round? I got overwhelmed, and that's -2 to my next.
Did you not roll a test since then?
No.
Oh yeah, this sucks.
Normally overwhelmed means like physically in combat, but I think here it just means emotionally.
Kinsey, are you really worried about Sky right now?
I wonder why that would happen. Luckily, I saw one of my teammates suplex one of them, so it shouldn't be too much.
Oh man. I just got better at initiative, and I might immediately come into play.
For some reason, I can never remember if you roll an even amount of dice on initiative, you still get a reroll.
You don't have reliability on.
There's no
initiative.
reliability.
There's a talent that gives you reliability on initiative, and that's it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna spend 2 grit to play to the gallery.
I want there to be like a mechanical thing that I can put on like the roof of the cab that's like handle. So you can like hold on while they're swerving and stuff.
All of you can take a grit because I am also going to play to the gallery.
I love it when I get grit. Yeah. I can almost do something with my grit now.
Guys, I almost have like nomad initiative.
All right. Well, now that you've said that, did anyone get better than a 9?
No.
Okay. 8.
Said almost.
8?
I got an 8.
Oh, okay.
I got 4 hits on my initiative.
Nice. 7?
Yeah.
What's up? I got a 7.
That's impressive, especially for you, Roland. That's like the highest initiative you've ever rolled.
Yes, it is.
Kinsey, what'd you get?
5.
Oh, Kinsey, that's a bad initiative.
That sucks really bad for us.
Pretty bad, yes.
Get wrecked.
Okay. So they go first. They are currently at long range. Roland, you're behind the wheel, right?
Yes.
Give me a second. I'm gonna send you a thing.
I'm pretty sure I have the stats for the truck. I wrote them down when we got it.
Yeah, it's not that. I'm gonna send you the chase scene stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
you don't have a rule book handy. Because they don't have.
Tommy, I only need one chase maneuver, and it's whatever do a trick is.
Believe it's called fancy trick.
Yes, all I need is fancy trick. Attention, I will now be doing only fancy tricks.
That seems not great.
I'm gonna ramp this sucker into a jetpack, man. How is that not great?
I'm in the truck bed. That's how that's not great.
That's fine. I've got 4 grit to flashback, and you're wearing my ground stability harness.
I thought about it as we were getting in. I was like, should we switch?
That's a great use of grab stability harness. All right, there you go. Sorry, it's long.
It's fine.
So there you go.
No. Okay, that's not gonna work. Opening it there. I'll open it on my phone.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So they're gonna go, and they're at long range, and they are going to attempt to change their distance. So Roland, I need you to roll a a speed test.
Speed test, right?
Yep. So you get whatever modifiers there are for the truck at top speed.
Oh, that's such a good roll.
Okay. You are up against a 15.
Is it worth it? Ah, why not? Yeah, I'll spend 2 grit.
Okay.
I have a 15.
Oh.
Take your 1 net hit.
All right.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that eliminates all the rest of them. All right, so they do close the distance a little bit. You can see them gaining. They move from long range to moderate range. This is just their leader. He is going to do it again. So Roland, go again with a speed test. He is going to try and completely close the... Well, not completely... Well, maybe completely close the gap. You are up against a 13.
I have a 12.
Okay. So they will get within standard range. So Pax, you watch like they're like Roland like slams it down. You like hold on and you watch like they start closing in closer and closer. This truck is good and fast, but not nearly as fast as the Cloud Cutter jetpacks. That's for sure. As they close the gap, and then 3 of them are going to shoot. So we're going to have one of them shoot at Pax. So Pax, let's go ahead and resolve that right now.
Okay. I took precise reaction.
No, when you leveled up, you took precise reaction, so you get what? Is that a?
It's a +1 as long as I can see them to dodge.
You can see them. You also additionally, I believe you have moderate cover from the truck, which is an additional +2.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what I mean. I'm totally great to take that because that puts me at 17, which I love. But but I am in the truck bed, which I don't know if you want to like modify that at all because they're above.
You're above capacity, but it does all above capacity. Which actually, Roland, you should take note of this since you're behind the wheel. You are above capacity right now, so your speed and handling are reduced by 1.
Oh, okay. I didn't spend grit against you.
Okay.
To count.
They still close the distance the same way.
Or no, do I? No, I do spend grit. I count the 14s I rolled instead.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, Pax, you get shot at. The first one you're up against is a 12.
I have a 14.
Okay, and then they shoot at you again.
These new dice are like pretty good. They're civil servants. No jail for them.
Can I borrow your jail? That's my
You're up against a 12 again, Pax.
I have a 14 again.
Even with the -1?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
well,
you're
with
rolling
precise
percentages.
reaction.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So Pax, they close in, they fly in about standard range, flailing behind you. You can kind of see their faces. They have like gas masks and like goggles. And they being able to fly these jetpacks without their hands needing to control it. They both, all 4 of them are reaching out with belt-fed pistols. And they just and just start tearing in, just like start surrounding the truck with gunfire. So that was the one who was just aiming at Pax. Now, the additional 2 are going to shoot at both Pax and the car.
Okay. I take the handling as a modifier to a drive test to dodge this.
Yep. And you are at top speed, so it's whatever your handling would be -1.
Can I bamboozle them at all? Can I do anything to help?
No, because you're not involved in this roll, unfortunately.
Fair enough. All right.
So was it a +3 or a +2 for my cover? It was +2?
+2, and then your precise reaction gives you a third.
And then my armor gives me another +1. So.
And then your mag cores and all that other stuff.
Well, mag cores, I don't think that's for range.
Oh no, because mag core does work for range, but you don't have those weapons out right now. You have the bow.
No, because I have my
Yeah. All right. So this shot is the first one against both the car and Pax. You are up against. Ooh. All right, both of you can have a grit.
More grit. More grit. More grit.
You're up against a 14.
Ha! That's great. I spend my 1 grit you gave me. Or 2 grit. I spent 2 grit.
Okay.
I have an 8.
Okay.
Sorry. I spend 2 grit to count my 15. You don't hit me.
So, Pax, you're able to like hug the bed of the car, kind of push yourself up against the tailgate of the truck, and make yourself kind of small. And the bullets rip into the bed of the truck, and the truck will take 10 damage with 2 armor piercing.
The one thing I don't have for this truck are its HP or its...
Oh, sure. So it's got 8 body and 6 armor and 7 toughness.
Okay.
So you
it
take
takes
3 damage.
2 of which goes directly to the hit points.
Yes.
8 body turns into 48 hit points.
32?
So times 6 or times 4?
Times 4.
So it
4
turns
is
into
the
32.
number.
Yeah.
So that's 32 hit points.
Yep.
And armor is just...
It's whatever
the
it's whatever its armor rating is. What's its armor rating?
Oh, it just has 6 armor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The good news is the toughness retains regardless of if the armor is depleted. Because that's how vehicles work. There's always tough. All right. So second shot coming at Roland and Pax from the same nomad. Y'all are up against a 13.
I have a 7.
Okay, that's another 10 damage to the car, Roland.
I think you mean another 3.
Yeah. So bullets start pelting in. And Pax.
I have so much reliability.
Well, wait, what's your highest?
Well, a 13, but if I re-roll a
Into
14, I can count it.
Okay.
It's 13.
Okay. Pax, you take 5 damage with 2 armor piercing.
No.
As you're hugged in and bullets are just raking into the back of the truck, and a couple of them pierce through the tailgate and like hit you in the shoulder.
How long does it take to trade armor?
To trip? What? Like in a combat? A long amount of time.
Could I just put the armor over the other armor I have?
No.
Okay. All right. This is bad. This is very bad. 5 damage. I take an injury.
5 damage with 2 armor piercing before your toughness.
I have no armor right now.
Oh, you didn't repair your armor at all.
No, because there was no time in between.
I'm right there with you, man.
You're in the car. You might survive.
17, Roland. 17. Come on.
Yeah, I take an injury.
That ain't a thing for cars, Kinsey.
I don't know.
All right, take an injury, roll 1d20, and consult the injury chart.
All right. I'm gonna use this cool die that has purple and orange glitter in it.
That's so dope.
Oh no! I rolled behind the computer. Oh no! Where did It's 10.
And a class 1
You're
injury.
overwhelmed.
Oh no! You're overwhelmed. That means your next test will be at a -2.
Oh, whatever. That's fine.
So now the third of the third nomad attacks. It is going to attack Pax. Yeah, Pax in the car again. That's what we'll do.
Why do they want to shoot our car so bad? Is what I want to know.
Sorry, is this... I have this as the 4th time I'm being attacked, is that right?
Probably,
I think this is the 4th
because
time. Okay.
it was no, it's the 5th time you got attacked.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're at a -4
Okay.
because they're all dual wielding, so they're just with belt fed pistols. The belts from these pistols kind of reach around and follow their arms all the way back to the ammo belts on the back underneath the jetpack. And both of you are against 13.
Yeah, sure. I think it's fine. I got no hits.
Okay. Pex.
I'm in the awful position where I could roll another die, but then if I rolled higher, I couldn't count it because I couldn't play to the gallery. Because I only have
well, here,
grit.
I'm the aggressor, so let me just make it easy for you. Both of you get grit because I'm going to twist the knife.
Okay.
Or not twist the knife, punch it.
Hey. Yeah.
Is that accuracy?
It raises the accuracy so I can hit the card a little harder with these pistols.
All right.
That makes sense.
Grit. All right.
So that's a grit for both of you.
All right. Cool. Then I'm gonna spend a grit to roll another die and hope I roll a 14 again. Because last time I thought I did my math wrong and 14 was my target. Oh no! It rolled away again.
You gotta stop.
I know. All right. I need a dice tray. Suspense. It's a 14.
Okay, all right.
Everything has happened all at once.
All right. I said you guys are up against a 13, right?
Yeah.
So, Pax, you are okay again. You kind of dig yourself into the corner a little bit. The bullets rake past you, and the car takes 15 damage with 2 armor piercing.
I think you mean 8. Okay, so... Yeah, that's just gonna eat the rest of the armor of the car.
Okay.
And then do 2 damage to the car.
And just so you know, the car, at every 6 hit point damage it takes is a negative modifier to any test you have.
Yeah.
All right. So, the third nomad is going to fire.
What?
Or no, the fourth? It was the one that only shot Pax twice. And
Then you
the
got
one-
2 guys who shot at both of them.
Cool, so we're on the fourth. I was like, third seems crazy. The fourth one is going to shoot at... Oh, no.
Can I give myself full cover if I pull Bo's shield on top of me?
No. I mean, maybe, but not
It was
until
worth
it's
a
your
shot.
turn, right?
No, it's fine then. No, I'm gonna kill all of these guys.
The fourth nomad is going to take a called shot on the car specifically. And you are up against the 13.
I have a 7.
Okay. So Roland, you're driving. The car is getting hit. You're doing what you can. You're kind of trying to skirt up on a hill to give yourself a little extra cover, but they're right on top of you. And then one of your tires gets hit. Does it have run flats?
No.
Okay. So you are at a -2 now for all actions you do with this car, because you are short 1 tire.
It is supercharged. Is that already in the stats?
It should be, yeah,
Okay.
in the speed,
Are you sure the armor's only 6 on this?
unless it's armored.
No. It is not armored.
Yeah.
It's got a supercharged engine, an off-road mod, and a kill switch.
Yep.
Okay. Because it looks like I wrote down armor 16, but that might just be wrong.
It was hopeful thinking.
Not that
So
it matters.
now you're at a -2.
What if my fancy trick is we just stop and kill these guys?
That's pretty fancy.
Well, you can do like driving maneuvers to like add to your dodge and stuff, like evasive maneuvering and whatever.
It doesn't matter. The car is extremely fast, but when it's doing that, its handling is very low, and so it puts a penalty on. Like, my driving is good, but I just got shot at 5 times.
So the four-wheeler flying, one of them, he flies off to the side and shoots one of your tires out, and then zooms in on you, and he's gonna try and cut you off. So this is a handling-based test.
But it's not an attack. Right? I'm not being attacked a 6th time?
Correct. And you were up against a 13 again. They just love these 13s.
Is there any way I can count these 13s I have? I don't think so.
Yeah, because you are at a -2 for the tire.
No, there is a way. It just costs 5 grit. Oh man, why couldn't he have rolled a 12 and then I could spend the count the teens? Nah, I got nothing.
Okay. So I need you to make another handling test at a -3.
Okay.
In addition to your -2.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I got it all.
Okay, cool. And tell me, this is an unopposed test.
Okay. I got 2 hits.
Oh, sweet. So he does manage to cut you off, and you have to swerve out of the way as he's just like guns blaring, flying right at you. And you like swerve to the side, you go down the hill, kick up a bunch of dust. He zooms up in the air and like kind of regains formation, and you for a second start fishtailing around.
Can I give you a pitch on what I do actually?
What do you do?
He tries to cut me off, and I think, you're in a jetpack, and I just go right at him.
Just play a game of chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just as he like is coming right at you, shooting, he pops one of your tires, and you're about to like lose control and slide down, but then you just like overcorrect and swerve right up towards him, and he's like, "Ah!" and flies right over the roof, his like knee skidding on the roof a little bit, and then you start fishtailing a little bit and manage to pull yourself back into control of your car, and you don't lose control of the car from that cutoff.
Never have I wanted an attack of opportunity more.
Punish cowardice.
That'd be great. And Pax, it is your turn.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So I want to. So I have my bow. I like roll out, and I'm gonna get my So broadhead kills armor better. I forget.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. And I grab a piercing shot.
Okay, so you grab a piercing shot. That's what you're shooting with, and you grab your bow.
And I guess I just shoot at one of them. I was thinking I could shoot at more than one person, but I don't have that talent.
No, not with your bow.
No, I should have gotten out my cool gun that I never get to use.
I mean, it's like 2 feet away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you still could, but it's up to you.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? And I go and I
So all this happens, you get shot, and you're like, fuck this, and you toss the bow to the side and grab Miguel's gun and drag it out from under the tarp.
Careful, I just made that.
And you plant your foot up against the tailgate and stand up in the back of the truck.
yeah.
Are you targeting 3 of the 4?
Yes.
Okay, so you're at a -2 for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have target acquisition, which does.
So you're only at a -1.
Yeah, and then can I aim for their jetpacks?
That would put you at an additional -2. So
Okay,
you'd be
and
rolling
then I
at a
have trick
minus-
shot.
Oh, you took trick shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you are at a -1.
Okay.
Or
Great.
a -2. You're at a -2. Because you would
I'm
be
at a -2?
you would be at a -3. You're at a -2.
Okay.
Yeah, trick shot reduces the penalty of a called shot, and target acquisition reduces the penalty for targeting multiple people. So all of that, all told, puts you at a -2.
Kia!
Now you know what your highest is because I'm rolling 3 defense tests here.
Okay. I have some. I mean, my highest is 11.
Okay.
But I have 2 of them so far. Man. Ah! Hot mess. Yeah, my highest is 11.
Okay. So you hit one of them.
Okay.
He has a 10.
I also have a 10.
Okay. So how much damage is that one soaking up?
I think I blow him up very good. So Miguel's gun, there it is.
I love this chat tonight.
So that's 21 damage. Oh wait, I have more reliability. It's not an 11. Okay. It's 21 damage with 3 piercing. And it's incendiary ammunition.
Directly to his jetpack.
Yeah. It's the only ammo I have left for that gun.
That's right. You were shooting the jetpack, not him.
Yeah. My goal is to make them all lose control, and then we can get away. Yeah. Because I've learned.
Yeah, so you just plant yourself up, just the minigun tears through the sky, incendiary like shots flying up, leaving like traces of red as they cut through. They scatter their formation, but you clip one of them in the jetpack as he turns to the side to try and like bank, and you just like wreck his jetpack, just tearing straight through it.
Yeah.
It explodes and he loses control. There's a bunch of smoke behind him, and he crashes on the ground behind you, and you see the smoldering wreckage as you continue to drive away from him.
And I think he could still be alive, and I pull up Bo's shield.
Okay, the pulling up both shields not going to give you any cover.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And
I wish I could.
Roland, it is your turn.
Okay, how far are we from the border of the Ophidian clan's lands?
A couple hours, probably.
Oh, okay. I had a fun flashback where I was gonna say, like, actually, I told a bunch of them to meet us there in case they need direct medical attention. And so, like, they would pop up and just like a wave of arrows would kill those guys. But actually, it's just Pax's turn.
You're gonna use leadership to keep Pax going.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Challenge accepted. I do it again.
You just hold down the triggers.
Yeah. Okay.
There's only 3 of them left, so.
Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Come on, friends. Why you gotta do me like that?
All right. What's your highest? I have a 13, a 14, and a 15.
None of those.
None of them?
I accomplished nothing.
Well, you do give them all penalties for when Kinsey inevitably shoots at someone. But yeah, they
Oh,
seem...
wait.
Oh.
No, because the overwhelmed was just for my next roll, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not overwhelmed anymore.
Okay, I still don't hit them, but I'm really excited that my number's higher now.
You still won't beat a 13?
No, I have 2 12s,
Go.
2 10s, 2 3s.
Yeah,
You make them really reconsider, like, coming after us, though, because, like, now they have to think about, there's a Gatling gun here.
Yeah, Pax just starts spraying the air, and they completely scatter their formation, are zipping around, and to their credit, they're very deftly, like, dodging and flipping around as they do, and just barely, like, avoiding the, like, swinging arc of gunfire that Pax is just raining up above the car. But she doesn't actually quite hit any of them. And Kinsey, it is your turn.
Great, I'd like to shoot somebody, so
Sure.
I think he's going to sky and just like kind of like stick his head out of a window and with his rifle he's going to try and take one of them out.
Okay.
And I would like to bamboozle him thrice.
Oh. Nice one. Nice 2. 3. Okay.
She's a bard. Come up with some really good inspiration songs.
Oh dear.
This is the road to Bobby Klein in this truck. I hope you know that.
Oh dear, Kinsey. You're up against a 3!
They roll away from me.
Well, he bamboozled him 3 times. That made a big difference.
Yeah.
Right, so it's my weapons reliability. It is 1. Contribute. Take that. Can also.
Gonna clock to the bulleting.
No, that's fine. Right, that's 2 net hits over your measly 3.
Oh.
So that's it.
How much damage is that?
That is 10 damage with 2 piercing. Sorry, no, that I shot with my rifle. That is 12 damage with 2 piercing.
Okay. The one is zipping, like they're all zipping and like swerving around in the air to avoid Pax's gunshot. And one swings out to the outside, and you just lean out the window with your rifle and just take a clean shot, and like you hit him right in the side, and like a little bit of blood shoots out, and he like spins around. You see the straps on his armor are snapped, and he's like he doesn't quite lose control, but he dips down to the ground and then zooms back up, like clutching his side and like looking towards where you are, Kinsey.
Ha! bamboozled him.
And
Kinsey, get back in the car. Go, 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 go.
and it's their turn again.
Great, perfect.
There's 3 of them left. The one who you shot, Kinsey, is going to direct all of his fire on you.
Not surprising.
So here's the first attack. Don't forget you have moderate cover, so you're at a +2 here.
+2, thank you. I don't like the way you said first.
You have a 7. You're up against a 7.
Well, I do beat that with an 8, so I could re-roll. I don't really see that. Right?
No, if you beat it, yeah, you're good.
Yes, excellent.
All right, so the second attack comes at you. So you're only at a +1 now because it's additional attacks.
Said only +1 now is what you said?
Yep,
Both.
because the additional attacks continue to give you penalties.
Very nice.
So he begins like firing with both shots. That starts pelting like cosmetic parts of the side of the car and kind of whizzing around, hitting the ground and above the car. And you start pulling back away from the window. And he got a 10.
A 10, perfect. Well, that is a 12 above it. Yeah. I just recently became more gymnastic in my movements.
Well, take a grit, Kinsey. I'm going to play to the gallery so I can count my 12.
I'll take your grit.
And that makes you take 5 damage with 2 armor piercing.
So you spent grit, I'm sorry, to
play to the gallery so I could count my 12. Because you said you have
excellent. I'm going to spend grit back at you.
Oh,
Rob, then.
no!
I'm going to spend
grit
grit to
fight.
also play to the gallery. And that will allow me to count my 14.
Yeah, okay, so it's tearing around and you just pull back and you actually grab Sky too and pull her like kind of like onto your shoulder and the bullet like whizzes through the window and like hits the dashboard.
Whew. Serpentine, didn't I say?
It seems like you're doing fine.
All right. The second one is going to direct his fire at Pax and Roland and the car again.
Okay. Does the fact that this car is extra load bearing help with the fact that we're like too many people?
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
The seats determine that. Extra
No,
load
I know,
bearing.
I
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
I just wondered if maybe like because we can haul so much, it doesn't matter who's sitting where.
You both are up against an 11.
Okay, so the car is hurt. -1, -2, another -2. Yeah, that's fine. I can roll a respectable number still. I have a 5 for the car.
Okay. And Pax?
I have a 14.
Okay, so Pax, again, you are okay as you see them swinging around for another pass. You drop to your knees, and the bullets whiz over you and hit the car.
I put the gun down and do a cool like cartwheel over it, pick it back up.
And like slam yourself into the corner. And Roland, the car takes 10 damage, 2 armor piercing.
It doesn't have armor anymore. So it just takes 3 damage.
Oh, sure.
It has toughness.
It still has its
just
toughness.
doesn't have armor.
Yeah. And then
I have a 9 for my personal dodge.
Okay, cool. So you also take 10 damage with 2 armor piercing.
I think you mean an injury.
I guess I do.
Because my 1 toughness takes that to a class 1 injury.
Yes.
Nice. Cool.
I really should heal one of my injuries.
Oh no. Well, I guess that makes sense. I suffer a setback. That turn that I gave.
No, you cut out. I didn't hear what you said, but
That turn I gave away, I I lose 2 initiative.
Yeah, so what happens, Roland, is the gunshots whiz in, tearing through the back of the cab, over Pax, and tear over your shoulder, and one like hits the steering wheel and it locks in place, and the car like swerves to the right really hard, and you have to like reach down and like pull out like a part of the paneling and like dig your hand in to like get it back up, and that takes away your initiative.
Amazing.
I just had like the clearest flashback to being in a flying truck and all of the power going out.
And you're able to get the car back in place, but it does take your initiative away.
I did not have a seatbelt on in that car.
I assume I am shot at again.
So that was Nomad number 2. Nomad number... Oh wait, that was only his first attack? Yeah. So second attack from Nomad number 2.
Same targets?
Same targets. Okay. What do you guys got? I might have to spend some grit.
The car has a 5, I have a 9.
Okay.
I have a 13.
Okay, I will spend grit. Both of you take a grit.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 14.
Aha! I'm gonna spend grit to roll another die.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ha! I have a 16. Get right.
Pax, you have yourself against the corner of the back of the truck. Gunshots start raking towards you, and then like just in time you like leap forward, and the bullets like shoot in front of you and behind you as you like slam into the front of the cab, or the back of the cab, the front of the bed. Roland, you take 5 damage, 2 armor piercing.
Oh, hey, that's not even bad.
Yeah, he didn't roll super great except that 14 that I had to spend grit to take.
And the car?
The car got what?
The car is a 5.
Oh, same thing. 5 damage.
Takes nothing.
Yeah, so it just skims off of the hood.
You just shoot car.
And then the final Nomad, the third one, is going to try to shoot out another tire with his
So
first
it's just
attack.
the car on this one?
Just the car. He's not taking any penalties to shoot multiple targets here.
It's -1, -2, -3. No tire, -5. Attack twice for minus. It's fine. I'm just rolling at 5s.
Like you do.
So you're up against an 8.
An 8?
Yep.
Idiot. I have all this grit. I fooled saying I was. I go at strong. I have a 12.
Nice. Yeah, so you get the car back upright. You get hit like in the shoulder a little bit again from like another shot, and then you turn to the side. You see that one zooming down along the like dust kicking up as he flies really low to the ground, and he shoots at the tire, and you like just tap the brakes. And Kinsey, you slam into the front of the thing. Pax, you're already against the back of the cab as Roland just like slams the brakes for a second, and like the car like swerves just a little bit, and then he like hits the gas again and drives towards that Nomad, who is gonna spend his next turn his next shot also trying to shoot a tire out again.
God dang it, again?
Yep.
Why? What if he didn't?
You're up against a 10.
Take another 3 of my. Well, take grit. I spent another 3 of mine.
Sure.
Again, I have a 12.
So you kind of following the same path as before. You drive directly towards him, and he's shooting a little bit, but he can't quite like adjust his aim enough with both of his pistols. And again, he has to like zoom up just over the cab and fly right over Pax's head. And that's all of the remaining Nomads. So Pax, it is your turn.
Nice. So I've been like doing gymnastics in this back. I like flipped over my gun, and then like there was gunfire, and so I backed up, and then like I got slammed against the front of the cab or the back of the cab, and so I am like sitting in the back of the cab, and I'm just like, all right, and I pull out Rosa's guns, and I'm just gonna.
You're gonna try to shoot both of them because it's -3 to shoot them with a quick action.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have precision, so it's only 2?
What?
Precision
No, it's because
shot?
they're hard caliber. It's not because you're
Right. No, but precision shot gives me a +1?
No, precision shot
No?
is a type of ammo for a projectile.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I want to shoot it twice, though.
I mean, you can. Do you have enough grit to go strong twice if it matters?
Don't. I have 0 grit. I just want to be really cool.
Well, you
It's only
can.
plus
You'll just be at a
one.
-3 for each of the shots.
So, Rosa's gun doesn't have any stuff on it?
It does. It has well balanced and enhanced sights.
Hmm.
So you pull out both of Rose's guns, or you pull out one of Rose's guns, or
I will pull out one of Rosa's guns.
okay,
Because they just went, so they have no penalties.
yeah.
This is the worst. I mean, it's very cool. Okay. Yeah. Rosa's gun.
Okay, so you slam down on the ground. You kind of hit the strap off of Miguel's gun to like continue your dodge unhindered. You slam against the side of the bed, and you just reach it behind your back and whip out one of Rose's guns, grab it with both hands, and you aim at one of the nomads. I'm assuming, do you want to aim at the one who Kinsey already shot, or do you want to aim at a fresh one?
I want to aim at the one that keeps on trying to take out the friggin' tire.
That would be a fresh one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna be a dead one.
He has a 14.
I see. How much reliability does this gun have? One. I might just miss. That'd be really sad. I miss.
Okay. So you slam up, you pull out Rosa's gun, and the car's like bumping around, and you shoot a shot off with the hard caliber pistol. Energy shoots out, supercharging the bullet as it flies, but your aim is just a little hindered by the movement of the car, and it flies over the nomad you shot at.
Poop.
Kinsey, it is your turn.
Finally. Yes. So I think actually after being bumped into the dashboard, Kinsey's going to take the time to give Roland a dirty look, and then he's going to lean back out the window, and I think he's going to shoot at the same one that the Pax is shooting at.
Okay, cool. So you actually pull yourself up and kind of sit on the in the window a little bit, aiming over the cab as that guy swoops around for another shot, and you trace him with you're aiming your rifle.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. That's a high of 12.
Okay. I don't think there's a way for me to grit my way through this. My high is a 5.
Oh, that's very sad. But alas, my accuracy is only 2, so that would be 12 damage with 2 piercing.
Okay.
Although I suppose I could
You could punch it.
grit. But I only have 3 grit, and I don't want to spend it.
But if you
What if
kill
he's
him,
dead?
then he's dead.
But if he kills me, I'll also be dead.
But he can't kill you if he's already dead.
Alright, fine, I'll kill him then. I'll go ahead and punch it and spend my...
How much? So that allows you to raise the accuracy of your weapon. How much more damage is that?
so that will then be 18 with 2 piercing.
Which is what, an additional 6 damage?
Yes.
So you pull yourself out. You see Pax like take a shot. You watch like you see the flash of like teal energy as the hard caliber like lights up, and you see the air kind of part as the bullet flies out and flies over that person's back. He dips down low, out of your sight for a second, and you just aim clean. And before you see him, you squeeze the trigger, and as he comes up, just right in the chest. And it hits him right in the heart, and he spins out and just like tumbles into the ground. He's dead.
Don't need a fancy gun for that one now, do
I softened him up for you.
I? Of course.
Roland, it is your turn.
Okay. How much
There are
initiative do I have
two
left?
nomads still on your tail. This will put you down to 1 initiative after this turn.
All right, and I just have to spend 1 turn driving car.
Yes.
Okay.
This turn could be whatever you want, as long as you spend either 2 quick actions or 1 focused action focusing on the car.
Okay. There's no way I could ram a guy.
What is ram a quick action or a focused action?
I don't know. It's
I
just mostly they have to be a close range and it's a focus.
It's a focus action. Okay, you'd have to double down then, because you'd have to spend a quick action to change your distance from them to get into close range.
Yeah. Okay. So they're out of range. Cool.
They're at standard range right now.
All right. Well, then one of them has been shot.
Yeah, one of them is
Like-
is busted armor.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like, real quick, take a tool, jam it in the steering wheel so it holds steady, just lean out and shoot at a guy.
Nice.
Maybe I hit him. I don't know. This car is so fucked. I can hit them with the car. I probably don't hit. But maybe I do. Maybe he beefs it.
He has an 8.
I have an 8.
How much damage is that?
He takes 6.
Wow.
He only has 6 hit points left.
I don't fucking believe.
So Kinsey, you're like trash talking with Pax leaning over,
Yeah.
and then you see Roland like a hand come up on top, and then like another hand, and Roland pulls himself up. You don't know who's driving this thing now, as Roland kind of like leans out with his rifle, and then just like the guy who you had shot, who's like kind of like ripping off part of his armor to get better control of his jetpack. Roland just sees him and goes like, and like hits him through the neck, and blood shoots out, and that guy just.
Really?
What the?
Good show.
Whoa! Good job!
Yeah, no, I figured, I'd sort of get in on the action and like...
Roland, who's driving? Roland, who's driving?
What? Sorry?
Who's driving?
Roland!
It's the nomad.
Don't worry, I jammed this. It's fine, and I get right into that.
Roland, as you climb,
Roland, start driving. There's turbulence.
Roland, as you climb back in and like pull your tool out, kind of chuckling to yourself, that one of the one remaining outrider is going to try to cut you off.
That's fine. He's gonna. Well, I don't know. He might just beef it.
Hold my light from now.
I've got a 6, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay, so Roland, I need you to make another handling test as you are cut
Right,
off.
right,
You are at
right.
a -4, in addition to whatever other negatives you have.
Sorry, I have to do math real quick. 2, 3, 4, 8. The car crashes.
It doesn't crash. You lose control of it. Which means everyone in the car is at a -2 for all actions. And Roland, if next turn you don't regain control of this car, you crash. You have to spend your focus action trying to regain control.
I will.
Roland's like, oh, I'm just kidding, it's fine. And then, like, you get in, Roland, you're like, this is great. And you pull the tool out. And then, like, you look to the left where that one was coming at you. You're like, sweet, cool. And then you look to the right, and there's, like, Nomad, like, flying right at you, guns aiming directly at your head. And it spooks you, and you turn towards him. You just drive straight down the hill, hit the ground really hard, and it, like, pops the car up. And then you, like, start, like, skidding around. You realize you've lost control of this car. It's starting to spin.
This is probably fine.
Pax, you were off screen. I don't know if you heard that.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's your turn. You're at an additional -2 for all actions because you are in a car that is out of control.
We're currently doing donuts. If you just stay shooting in one direction, you will cover a wide area.
Yeah. Okay. I will holster Rose's gun, and I'm gonna go back to my tried and true because that's the only thing I can guarantee works at this point. And I will.
It's only one target now, so, you know, you don't have to...
I can hit it twice, maybe.
With what?
Projectiles? Thrown weapons? Or are they too far away?
Oh, okay. I thought you were grabbing Miguel's gun again. Yeah, okay.
No.
So, yeah, you Roland, like, dips down, you jump up, you slam into the ground, and you just kind of, like, let go of Rose's gun and reach for your bandolier, and, like, as you're tumbling towards, like, the back of the truck, you slam up against the tailgate. You... What do you throw?
All right. The first one is blinding.
All right, so that gives you a +1,
Yeah.
which circumvents some of the negatives you have.
Yeah.
And it looks like you are up against a 10.
I should roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna use all sparkly dice. Hopefully, that'll be good for the blinding.
It will emulate the flashback.
Yeah. All right. That's great. What? Sorry, I'm at a -2 from
the car being out of control. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great.
Is it?
It's very out of control.
Are we exactly where I want to be?
If you want to be out of control, then yes.
We have to leave this one alive so he can tell his people I'm a...
I have a 13 and a 12.
Okay, cool. So that's 2 net successes. So how much damage would you normally be dealing?
With 6 with 4 piercing.
Okay. So he is at a -6. to his next test as your first one, big bright white phosphorus light flies in his face, and he starts like swerving uncontrollably. And your second, what do you throw?
Incendiary?
Okay. Man, I couldn't even go it strong if I wanted. You're up against, I could maybe. Might not be worth it.
I have a 12 high.
Yeah, you're up against a 7.
Okay, cool.
How much damage is that?
How much accuracy do I have?
1 additional for thrown. But that if we wrote it on your sheet, we wrote it.
Yeah, it's on my sheet.
Cool.
So that is, I have 3 accuracy. So that's 9 damage with 4 piercing, and he's on fire? Now?
Yes, he is.
All these cool toys, and what I really just need is knives.
Oh man, you need the thing that lets you target a bunch of people with a single projectile.
Sure, Kenjutsu.
And then you like throw out chaff. And then you throw out the fire knives.
Yeah. I don't love this whole like killing people, but it is self-defense, so at least there's that.
This one is definitely self-defense.
Yeah, so your first one blinds him, and he starts like flying a little bit. And your second one hits him in like the leather strap of the shoulder, digging in deep, and then you see like fire starting to spread over his back and flying behind him as your incendiary knife manages to catch him a flame. And Kinsey, it is your turn.
Sure is. I feel like now that he is severely disadvantaged, perhaps that is a person I should shoot at. Is he the last one?
He is the last one. All the rest have died.
Good.
Don't forget you are at a -2 from the car being out of control.
Yes, from the car.
Yeah. So it's
just had to show off, didn't you?
still swerving. Your like hands are up. You're holding, and you're like see him like aflame as like the car is skidding to the side and like about to like hit a big rock.
I think before I shoot him, I'll ask Pax, do we need him alive?
No, kill him now.
All right.
You've killed most of the people we've met, and now you're up an ass.
As you're like turning the wheel. You're up against the 7, Kinsey.
Oh, good. I have 4 hits over a 7. Only 3 of them. I changed over to my pistol. Actually, I had said that in my head, but I never said it out.
That's okay. So one hand is holding on to like the dashboard, and the other one reaches out with the pistol, and you shoot a burst out at him.
Yeah, and that's 15 2 pierce.
All right. Yeah. So you're like you shout the thing. Everyone's shouting at you, kill him, and you pull out the pistol, just and he's like trying to wipe like the dust from his eyes, and there's flames flying off his shoulder, and he's like zooming up kind of in a straight line, and you just hit him with the 3rd shot of the burst, and it clips into his side. He lets like a gasp of air that like responds with like blood shooting out of his mouth, and he just kind of like pirouettes in the air for a second, and then turns upside down and just slams headfirst into the ground. Roland, you're out of control of this car.
I don't know if that's accurate.
all negatives you have apply with the additional -2 for being inside an out of control car.
Okay. So my ability to drive is rated at a 12. Let's go over. It's been shot a lot. Now we're at 11. We're moving very fast. Now we're at 9. We have too many people. Now we're at 8. I have only 3 tires. Now we're at 6. That's it. Right? We're out of control. Now we're at 4.
Yeah.
Oh my
There you go.
God.
You're rolling for 4s.
Do you have any grit?
I have 2 grit.
That's not enough
That's
grit.
not enough to go straight. That's not enough.
This is fine. Guys, it's fine. Guys, it's fine. See how I'm saying it's fine and it sounds like it's fine?
God.
No, bullshit. Bullshit, fuck you.
Good at driving. That's cocked. Hold on. I got 2 3s, baby.
No, I don't believe it.
Wait, your target was a 4. Did you
Where's
play
the
it?
dice cam? Where's the dice cam on this one?
So did you play to the gallery to make the 3 explode, or oh no, you
No, I just
rolled
counted
the
the threes.
rerolls. You rolled a reroll. Yeah, okay.
Oh no, I had 2 3s and a 10.
Got it. Okay.
And then I rolled the 10 because I had reliability and
Yeah.
it came a cock.
So the car is swerving and like it starts instead of like spinning around, it's like skidding. Kinsey, you take the shot and then you brace your foot up against the door, like over like Sky's limp torso. You slam your foot up against the door and like push yourself almost against where Roland is. As you brace yourself, this giant rock's flying right at you as the car is skidding towards it. And Pax, you grab on and look, and you're getting ready to like leap off.
I'm
And-
definitely getting ready to jump out.
And Roland, you see that, and you slam the brake, like pull an e-brake, swerve to the right, and the car like just barely past the rock as it turns to the side, and the rock flies right, like your perspective changes, Kinsey, but the rock is right there, and it like doesn't break the wing mirror off of the truck, but does like knock it a little bit as you skid past it, and then come to a stop.
Roland, are you familiar with the phrase, by the skin of your teeth?
I've heard it before.
I just became intimately familiar.
I jump down. I open the driver door. Get out!
Look, all right.
Not you! Out! You! Out!
Yeah, you're right. I should probably put another
Ow.
tire on this bad boy. Get out.
Oh my god.
I put a tire on this bad boy.
Do you have a machinery
Can
cube?
help you with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the
Does
machinery...
it heal any hit point damage as I do that?
No, you just replace a tire with a machinery cube.
Okay. We don't have time for me to heal it.
It does take you a little bit as you're like kind of fabricating a tire. You like pull the one off, and like you kind of put this thing on like a makeshift block. You pull one tire off and then like make another tire.
Hold on. I've got to invent the wheel real quick.
So it does take a little while. All the while, Sky is like just radiating heat, sweating, kind of like convulsing every once in a while. Like her breath is really, really shallow.
It's not looking good.
Roland, you get the tire back on as quickly as humanly possible, and you all climb back in the car. It's beat to shit, and it is gonna have negatives, so it's not driving as fast as it normally would. As you're
It's only at a -1.
right, exactly, but that still is a -1. As Pax, you're driving, but Pax, you think you're not gonna make it in time. You're not 100% sure, but like you think like that fight and like putting the new tire on and everything has put you behind the ball enough that like you're not sure if she can make it. You don't know how quickly she's deteriorating, but she just seems like in a really bad way. But you're trying as hard as you can, driving as fast as you can towards that line.
I have a first aid cube. Can someone?
I have a
do
modicum of
something
first
with
aid
it?
knowledge.
Can someone do something with this first aid cube?
I can certainly try.
Roland, go ahead and roll first aid for me without expending the first aid cube to diagnose.
let's see. It's been a while since I've been a doctor. Well, of medicine.
Can I assist him?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll first aid. It'll give Roland some positives.
Right. Oh, right. Sorry, I have a head injury. Affects my. Yeah. All right. So I'm rolling for what I used to. Oh boy. Yeah, I didn't like that one anyway. Oh. That's 3. I hit 11 twice.
You're at a +3 to diagnose this
That's
patient.
great. So reroll that with my reliability. I've got. Oh, but then the 11 I rolled explodes.
Hey.
I've got 4 hits.
Cool. So, Roland, you look to her, Kinsey. You're kind of leaning in the window, and you two are like doing what you can to try and figure out what's wrong with her, what needs to happen as far as treatment goes. Pax is like reaching under the seat and pulls out whatever first aid supplies she has and like slams them against the window in the dash. As she blares through the Badlands, dust kicking up. It's like really, really bad conditions to treat a patient. And Roland, you're looking at what's going on with her, and like you check her eyes, and Kinsey, you take her pulse and like report that to Roland, and the two of you are pretty sure that like if there was anything that could be done, it would require a med kit, not just a first aid cube. And you're not even sure if that would suffice. So your only hope is to try to get to the Ophidian territory as quickly as possible, which Pax is doing her damnedest to do.
Can you guys like fix anything like while we're moving, like patch up, like
They would need the talent that would allow them to do that. Otherwise, the car would need to be.
No.
Yeah. So Pax, you're freaking out. You're shouting at them, like maybe they're trying their best to like see if there's anything
Kinsey,
they
how
can
far
do.
are we away?
And Kinsey, you're like, like we're almost there, like 30 minutes tops, that kind of thing. And you know for sure you have not made it back. And Roland, you suddenly realize, like during the panic, like you kind of stop. You're still there next to her in the cab, and like you realize like that heat that was coming off of her has dissipated. And then like you look and you're like, oh no, and you press your thumb up against her throat and like try to feel a pulse, and it's still there. And then she goes, and she looks around, and like that kind of like sweat that she had is gone, and color has started to return to her face. And Roland, your thumb like on her pulse, like you're pretty sure that it's like kind of like gotten back to like a healthy pulse.
Huh. That doesn't make sense. We're still a little bit away from where she started feeling the symptoms originally.
I mean, I don't think anyone's ever. No, that's wrong. Medicine is an exact science.
She looks around and she goes, "Did we make it?"
Yes.
And she looks around and she goes, "No, we didn't. This isn't Ophidian territory."
And yet, you're okay. Which I would argue is the important kind of making it.
Does anyone have any water? My throat is so dry.
Roland gives her a water skin.
You mean Kinsey? Or do you...
It's like, sure, volunteer mine, that's fine.
Kinsey
Stuff, I guess.
Kinsey grabs one of Roland's water skins. She drinks it and coughs a little bit. And then she looks around and she goes, "I don't understand. How am I okay? We didn't make it back."
Are there any like myths of your clan about a chosen one, perhaps?
Yeah, I've heard stories.
Or maybe it's seasonal and it shifts. Or I'm just sort of making things up now.
How's it going? Is she okay?
Yeah, no, we're doing great, Pax.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Stop the car! Stop the car! She like stops the car and she sits there for a second and then like leans over the side, like throws up a little bit, and then gets up and goes, oh, "That's better." And then she grabs Roland's water skin again and drinks the rest of it.
That's fine. That's yours now.
You think it's some kind of bug or something, or like a parasite?
Maybe like a regional allergy? I mean, listen, I'm not a doctor of medicine, so... we don't possess the skills here to really accurately what is going on. Suffice it to say, you seem fine for now, but I think we should keep taking you back to your home.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. She seems like kind of in her head as she's trying to like sort through what's going on.
So no myths of a chosen one.
Huh? No.
Okay. It's just, there's a lot of myths of a chosen one across various cultures.
Are there now?
There are. I am actually a doctor of literature.
And she looks around and she goes, "What happened to the truck?"
It got shot some.
In town?
No. It was recent.
Care to catch me up?
Okay, so here's what happened.
And you tell her what happened.
And so that's why we've got to go find the...
And you pass into Ophidian territory. As you do, she kind of like looks around, looks at her hands a little bit and shakes her head to herself. And you eventually end up at the mouth of Snake Eye Canyon. At this point, the sun is pretty low on the horizon. And as you pull up and kind of like slow down a little bit. Oh, hey, by the way, Pax, roll a fuel test for me.
Okay.
As you're like
a couple ammo tests and stuff.
Oh yeah, anyone who shot guns.
That can't have been my last bullet again.
We actually misplayed it last time. The ammo that's left in your gun is still there. It's just you can't reload.
Sure.
So those of you who shot guns, it's a 10 or lower, lets you retain your ammo. If you roll higher, you have to expend an ammo cube of an ammo type that you used. Packs, you got to roll for both the gun and
I have to roll for a bunch of guns.
Two different types of thrown projectiles, and then your ammo, and then your gun.
All right.
Sorry, what is the roll?
It's a single die. It's a gear test, so it's a single die, and your target is the supply value of your ammo, which is 10, unless you have a talent that changes that.
Okay.
For a firearm. And if you only shot one type of, or you shot two types of ammo. You shot both a medium and a light, so you got to roll for both of those.
Cool. And the target's 10.
Yep.
That was my last incendiary flechette.
Cool.
Yeah.
I rolled a 13. I just bought those. Like, just now.
The rest seem to be they've expired.
That Duke guy sucks.
They got damaged. They got damaged in transit.
Kinsey rolls a 4 and a 2, so he's doing just fine.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, the fuel test.
Pax, you like kind of check your bandolier and the other incendiary flechettes that you had to throw. They have like blood stained on them, and you pull them out, and it's like the mechanisms are damaged. And you just don't have any more incendiary flechettes to throw.
Yeah, Duke sold me duds. Yeah, but we're fine on fuel.
Okay. Yeah, as you pull up and get like near Snake Eye Canyon, she like kind of taps at it and she goes, "Let's stop here for a second." What is the plan?
Well, it was to return you to the place where you don't die for being alive, and then go after the cloud cutters, which, as I'm now saying it, there's probably more of them than us.
Hmm.
And like we're quite capable, but like an army, we are not.
I don't know about fighting the cloud cutters, but I'm perplexed by... I mean, you say the land where I have to be to survive, but we've witnessed, the opposite. I was out of the territory, and I mean, it was rough there for a minute, but I wonder. Our two scouts that went missing. One of them was my brother. His name is Techt. He has a scar here of 4 lines down his neck. Something he got when he was trying to train his Warrican. If he's still out there, I'd like to know. I have always thought at this point that he must be dead, but if he can survive beyond the territory, then perhaps he's alive.
Are you asking to come with us?
I don't know. I feel like I must consult with the elders. I'm not sure. This is new. She stops for a second and she goes, I would like to be of assistance. If that means beyond the territory, then yes.
Well, as long as you're not putting yourself in danger, which I would imagine perhaps the elders could tell you something more about.
I don't think anything about this leaves anyone out of danger.
But if there's a way that your clan can leave this territory safely, you have the numbers and a vested interest in seeing the Riveteers return to their normal business safely.
We do.
We could use your help.
She sits there and goes, I will speak with the elders. Perhaps we can test the bounds of what we know. If you return to these lands, you will be welcome, and we will share with you what we've discovered. It could be that we've been living with only half the truth.
You said it was like evening
Yeah.
now? I mean, listen, Kinsey, you're the outdoorsy one. If you feel like you can track your way to the cloud cutters in the dark without armor and a shot-up car, we can go. But it seems like if it's possible to rest here for the night and head out at dawn, all of us could really just use a rest and some time to regroup.
So long as we aren't imposing, of course, on our host.
Well, it's a bit of a trek more into the canyon. I'm not sure the car is up for it. But if you set up camp at the mouth of the canyon, you'll be safe, and I can go the rest of the way on foot easily enough. I'm feeling myself.
Sure. I mean, that seems fine to me.
All right. I'll let our scouts know that you're here. And next I see you, perhaps it will be a new age for the Ophidian clan. And as she gathers her things and gets out of the truck, she goes, there was another. Molu. A close friend of my brother's. He has tattoos all along his back. Just so you know what you're looking for.
We'll keep an eye out.
Thank you for returning me home and opening my eyes.
Of course.
And she kind of like wanders off into the dark of the night as you guys set up camp, kind of a little bit into the Snake Eye Canyon, but you know it would take you a much longer time to get into where the Ophidian clan is.
Maybe Snake Eye Canyon's not a place, but a people. Is that
What?
it?
That doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I'll get.
Oh, I guess I can take us out of
Initiative.
the initiative. There we go.
So who needs what repaired?
No,
My
I need
armor
my
is
armor,
broken.
please.
Everyone and everything.
Yeah.
All right,
They have
Kinsey,
the armor,
with
the
me.
car. I need to heal up on my my head injury here, and I am still feeling overwhelmed. So.
Yeah,
Of
I'll
course.
hop into my medium armor while they fix my light armor.
Okay. So yeah, anything you want to repair, you have to expend a machinery cube to do it. You guys can teamwork up the machinery test if you like.
Let's do Kinsey's armor first.
Okay. And then Kinsey is assisting Roland.
Joel, come back here, you.
I think I've lost count of how much in-game time has passed. Do you know how close I am to finishing my Tommy?
Your Omni tool.
Yeah.
It'll be you know what? It's done now. You get out, and as they're setting up camp, they get the car parked off to the side. They're kind of taking inventory. They're checking their ammo and everything. You're just like putting in the final touches on your Omni tool, and you step up to the campfire, and you have it configured into kind of like a short, almost drill-looking type device that coils around your hand with like a little slot for you to slide your hand into. It's got like 3 different bits on the mouth, and you step out, and you have your complete Omni tool. What quality is it?
It is excellent quality.
Nice.
Well
So
done.
that's +1 to skill and reliability.
Yes, +1 to skill and reliability, and it cuts the time in half for crafting.
No, it's finally finished, is it, Rolly?
I'm sorry, did you just call me Rolly?
Did you just call him Rolly?
I don't know. I thought I'd try this out.
Oh no, I love it.
Oh, what about you, Rolly? What do you think? If we're feeling cute, so we can even call you Rolly.
Oh no, your armor's destroyed, Kinsey. It's here and here. The capacitors are just shot up with tachyon entropy. There's no fixing it.
All right. I'm sorry. Can we still call him Rolly then?
Yeah.
Give me a damn armor.
Alright, that dice. That is a +1 for you, my friend.
So it's 4 hits, so your armor heals 7.
Cool.
All right.
Did you spend a cube on that, Kinsey?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, cool. Now we'll do Pax.
I don't have a cube.
That's fine. I can. Oh no! I also don't have cubes to help you with this irrevocably destroyed arm.
I mean, I can just wear the medium, but like.
No. Here, take one of mine.
You're not going to draw a line from the thing you did to the punishment. It doesn't.
Oh no, the line was drawn. I have an alternative.
That's a good. Just give me the damn mama.
Thank you.
All right, Kinsey. Are you helping?
Right. Well, that's no help from me, I'm afraid.
I guess you're not helping then.
13, a 13, and a 19.
I've got 2 hits, so that's 5 on them.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, all of you, before I forget, can have a grit for surviving a life-threatening situation.
Great.
And you can all have a grit because you've been doing some excellent role play this session.
All right.
And Roland, I'm going to give you an extra grit for not crashing the car.
Very impressive.
I didn't think that was going to happen.
I'm a very good driver.
Pushed all the way down to a 4.
Okay, so let's work on the car a little bit then.
Do less.
How does repairing armor on the car?
So it's a machinery cube. It automatically heals. It's the same. So it armor and hit points on a vehicle heal at the same time.
Okay, so whatever I heal in hit points, I also heal.
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Because the machinery cube goes a lot farther when you're working on a machine.
Yeah, you just take it, you roll it out into like a fruit roll up, and you just slap it against the car.
That's not how it works.
To get rid of these dice, I keep getting 19.
Oh,
Get
wow.
a +1 from me.
Oh, a +1.
I'm gonna mail you some dice.
Oh, thank you. Please do.
Yeah.
Okay, we live in the same city.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys could just meet up sometime.
Okay. I will, because the car is very lay down. So these 9s explode.
Ooh.
Got 3 hits so far.
Alright, so that's 6 hit points back to the car.
That's a 9 and a 10.
Oh, so both of those explode.
Yeah, so that's
Right.
5 hits so
Because
far.
you played to the gallery to count your 9 as part of your target, so 9s and 10s explode right now.
That's a 9, and I haven't used a reliability on this one.
Oh my god!
The other reliability I have. Okay, no, now we're done.
So,
6 hits.
so 9 hit points restored to the vehicle.
Okay, so that's all the armor.
And all the armor, yeah. Roland makes one machinery cube go a
That's also
long
all of
way.
the cars.
Damn, yeah, like
That's incredible.
Roland looks down, and like Kinsey, you got 1 hit, right? So Roland just like asks Kinsey to kind of organize things by like size and material type. And so Kinsey does that, and like Kinsey, as you're organizing it, like stuff is going out, and you're like, how is this even going to be helpful? And literally everything you lay out gets put back into the car somehow.
It came from a car. It goes back into a
Yeah.
car.
And it's just like the car is tip top. I mean, it looks a little rough, like cosmetically. It's been through a lot.
Oh,
It's
I make
beautiful. Shut your mouth.
after the Rolly incident, I make every effort to make every part of this car look as mismatched aesthetically as possible.
Yeah, it looks like the car looks like a jalopy, but
And I love it. I love it even more than when it looked like it belonged.
but yeah.
Ship of Theseus, this truck.
All right. And you all are able to rest for the night, regaining hit points equal to your durability stat. If you have any injuries, mark 1 tally on your recovery track. The class of the injury is the number of rests you need to take.
And we can only heal 1 at a time, right?
No, they both they all recover at the same time, but it's just the amount of rest. So If you
I'm
have
no longer overwhelmed then. That's
nice. Yes, that's gone.
You
Take a
take a
nap?
night, clear your head.
Yeah, clear your head. You're feeling fine. You know what? It all turned out okay in the end. You know, Sky is fine. You don't really know what the implications are, but you've decided it's not your problem. And yeah, the sun comes up the next day, cresting into part of the mouth of the Snake Eye Canyons.
Okay, so the Riveteers are to the west.
You don't, so you know that they are somewhere in the mountains to the west, but that's a large swath.
Yeah.
You're on the western
But
side.
that's saying the Riveteers are to the west, but unhelpful.
Yeah, the one you do know for sure is that some of the Riveteers drove to the northeast from the town of Soldina.
Do you mean the Cloud Cutters?
Yes, sorry, Cloud Cutters. Some of the Cloud Cutters went to the northeast. And then yes, the Riveteers are somewhere in the mountains in trouble, but you don't know. It's a pretty large swath of land to say the mountains to the west. Your read on the guy was not clear enough for you to be able to be like, I know exactly where in the mountain range they are.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, I thought I said they were in the mountains as like.
Yeah, you did, and then he reacted to it to let you know that.
So I guessed.
Yeah, you were like, well, you know, I heard the Riveteers are in the mountains, and he was like, what have you heard?
Okay, so the Riveteers are somewhere in the mountains to the west. That's a large swath of land. I don't know how we'd cover that. The Cloud Cutters are somewhere to the northeast of Soldina. That's also a large swath of land, but sort of easier to like draw a straight line. And we've got these two missing scouts who I don't think anyone has told us where they went missing. So the Cloud Cutters camp then. Or Duke is definitely hiding something. We could go back to town and interrogate him.
I think if we go back, they
try and kill us if we don't have the stuff.
Well, I mean, they can't kill us, but like
I said try.
They'll try.
But like we would have to basically like sneak in and be the bad guys, which we've told them repeatedly that we're not. So, if we go back or when we go back, I think we should have more than Duke is hinky. We don't trust him. I think. Do you agree?
I mean, I think I can work to sort of put us onto better footing, but I agree it's a relatively small lead with very little to show up with.
I mean, also, if you want to go back, it's like a day, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And we could, sort of sneak around. I could sneak around and look for clues, but I wouldn't necessarily know what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Or I could and I know you're going to laugh because it feels like I always do this, but I could steal his LRC tag and we could read his messages. But the other thing is I feel like we don't really have any good options. So much. And I don't know if Duke is hiding something else, right? Like we don't know what he's hiding. It could be that he didn't pay his taxes or something. I don't know. But
Why would he lie to Roland about paying his taxes?
I've got a pretty good feeling that it's relevant to the thing he's being dishonest about, but
sure.
You're right. It's
but I mean, like it
sort
could
of
be
non-specific.
Yeah, it could be like he didn't actually send anything out of town.
Sure.
Yeah,
and it sounds like laid out like that. We're going just to scope out the Cloud Cutters. Maybe Maybe there were only 8 of them, and we've killed 6 of them.
Maybe.
That could be it.
The one thing you do know is that to follow the path of the Cloud Cutters, you do kind of have to skirt by Soldina anyways, because that's where the trail would start if there was a trail, and it's relatively on the way. Unless you specifically want to try and avoid Soldina, which is also an option because you kind of saw where they disappeared off to.
I mean, we could head in that direction and then decide when we're closer.
Sure. I mean, I think we're heading in that
Or
direction.
we could go look at that body.
What would we find of a body? Do you think that?
I don't know, like a map that says go back here. Maybe he's like dumb like me.
I mean, right now that's kind of our only true lead, other than we know that they went off in a certain
Or like
direction,
maybe
and,
he
you know,
has like a radio, or like maybe he has an LRC tag that didn't blow up when I crashed him into the ground at extremely high speeds.
Yes, did we ever figure out if killed that one that the jetpack? I suppose we're going back that way anyway.
Well, like gravity killed a lot of people.
It sounds like we're driving north-ish, perhaps around or through Soldina. I think we should get moving that way.
Okay.
In the morning?
I mean, it's
right?
It's morning.
It
now.
is morning.
Yeah, you're discussing this.
I need
in the
more
morning.
coffee. Give me a second.
Okay, so you drive north. Takes you a decent amount of time to crest over a hill and see Soldina in the distance. You keep driving towards. As you get a little bit closer to town, you see the small form of Alma Burns waving at you as you pull up.
She has the eagle eye talent. It's the only explanation.
I see her as soon as she sees me.
Yeah. She's waving at you, and she shouts a little bit, and her apparently shouting like you can kind of hear like they're back. As you pull up and people start like kind of peeking their head out of town, and then she like kind of like you drive by her and she's like running behind the car as you do. And you pull up towards the LRC tower, which you see is actually in a little bit of disarray. It looks like some paneling has been removed and some wiring is hanging out. And stepping out, like almost probably in response to Alma shouting, you see Father Wells and Michelle Green approaching the truck. The rest of the town kind of watching from afar. And you presumably stop the car and get out, or?
Yeah. Howdy.
And they kind of glance around a little bit and then go, I'm glad to, Wells says, I'm glad to see you're all right. Looks like your truck's seen better days. But we all got pretty worried when we saw them cloud cutters fly over town heading in the direction you was driving.
Yes, well, we took care of them. Too sweet, you could say.
Good. Folks mean
That's
no
right,
harm.
they won't be coming back to bother your town anymore.
No, Kenzie, no, stop.
I'm just saying we helped.
They don't know that.
And Michelle Green says, yeah, we heard the engines first, and they flew right over the town. We were worried as hell as they were coming. We thought maybe we sent you away too quick, but it seemed like they were following you. But the other thing, and she reaches in her like jacket and pulls out a small device. She goes, the other thing we heard them on was this. She hands out what Roland can very easily identify as a single frequency radio, short range, maybe 5 to 10 miles. But like she kind of holds it out. It's just kind of this like box of tech, And she goes, I heard them. It was staticky, but they were clearly communicating. This was we got this off of that Clyde fella that you slammed into the ground, Miss Patty.
Oh, right. Gravity, physics. I don't.
Yes, it was quite the move, wasn't it? She's very.
What is happening? See, this was on that Rocketeer fella.
This here device? No. This was on the. Oh yeah, Rocketeer, not Riveteer. Yes.
All right, and have the two of you looked into the just radiating hinkiness coming off Duke?
They kind of share a glance, and then Michelle goes, I mean, what if he's doing anything strange? He's playing it safe right now. I mean, Phil's always had a bit of a ethical blind spot when it comes to Spurs, so I thought maybe it had something to do with that, but I wasn't going snooping or nothing. And he's not acting strange. And Elliot goes, he's attended church with Mother, whatever her last name is, Mother Lewis. He's attended church with Mother Lewis. As far as I can tell, he's continuing to behave normally. I don't know what it is that made you think he was being suspicious, but I think perhaps he's just, the heat of the moment got to his head, maybe.
Well, I mean, strictly speaking, you hired us. So if you think it ain't worth looking into further, but my gut says something's up there. I ain't sure what.
I'm not entirely comfortable with the notion of having drifters poking around the town trying to lay blame on one of our own. I mean, I've known Duke for years, and sure, he has, his moments of aggressive self-interest, and then Michelle Green says, he's a cutthroat son of a bitch, that's what he is. But, I mean, he's never done wrong by the town, at least as far as I've seen. I figure if he's got something to hide, maybe it's a mistake he made that contributed to all this.
All right. I'll let it be.
Oh, there was one other thing on that Clyde fella. Everything else was junk. I mean, we took apart what was left of them jetpacks to try and tend to the damage on the LRC and finish fixing up the Douglas house. But he did have this on him. I figure maybe there's something in there that's helpful. And she hands over a very burnt and damaged little journal about maybe like 3-4 inches tall, small little leather-bound notebook journal that seems to have suffered some damage in the crash.
Yeah, I'll take that and flip through it, see if there's anything of interest.
And as you do, Father Wells turns to Kinsey and Pax and goes, what of Miss Sky? She make it back all right? Did you manage to return her in time? She didn't look good leaving town.
Far as we know, she's alive. We dropped her off.
Really? That's good.
Yeah.
She came very close, but yes. We did make it.
Good. I mean, I've had a few dealings with the Ophidian clan, and it's always been on the line of their territory. Once or twice I've seen a scout of theirs pushing a little too far, but you know, they just can't survive outside that canyon one way or another. I don't know what causes it, but she was definitely the furthest gone I've ever seen. So I'm glad you made it back with her. She seemed like a good person. And then there's an awkward silence for a little while, for a minute. And
what's in this journal?
Yeah, Roland, go ahead and roll an observe test. We'll put you at a -2. You don't have a big time constraint, but it is pretty beat up.
I got 3 hits.
Okay. So 3 successes. You catch a couple things. What you can tell looking through is it's this journal contains various like sketches, some like landscape like pencil sketches, and some animal like sketches, like rough sketches on multiple pages. It's very loose. It doesn't seem like it's like a journal where like, you know, Clyde wrote prose necessarily. More like he took notes of things to remember, and occasionally like you see him like maybe he writes like a full sentence or two that's maybe a quote of something or someone. But what you kind of can tell is it mostly contains sketches and reminders and then notes for himself. And one note in particular is clear and kind of like as near the end of like where the pages go blank. And it's burnt a bit, but what you can make out is Soldina with Dante, Bridget, and Zeb. And then right underneath that, rendezvous with Siege in Highlands, due north of Red Post. And then underneath that, Target Tusk. And then underneath that, last chance, don't fuck it up this time. And those last 5 words are in all caps. And judging by what you've seen of the rest, like this seems like he kind of writes like to-do lists in that same kind of format.
Sure.
So it's like this is his like docket. This was his last docket that he gave himself.
All right. Well, presumably, Siege is the Alpha pack, but Tusk ain't a name I've heard before, is it?
Probably not. You could roll connections at.
It's good enough for me.
Connections at a -8.
-8?
Yeah.
All right. Can I roll a 2 on 5 die? And away we go. Oh, that one's cocked. This is worth grit. I've gone it strong. Hold on. Okay. Unmarked liability. Okay. I got 4 hits.
Okay. You weren't 100% sure. Like you've heard that like there were nomad. You've heard stuff of nomad packs in the Badlands. Tusk is the alpha of a nomad pack, which you assume at this point is probably the Riveteers. It kind of lines up. You're like, yeah, you know what? Last I heard, Tusk was operating in the Western Badlands, so this makes sense. Or since you were reading about this in the Garden, they say the Eastern Badlands because the Garden thinks they're in the middle and the Badlands are on either side. But either way, where you are right now.
Yeah, I think before I spend grit, I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. He's in the Western Badlands. You know what?
I get it now because the Badlands is all one, and they probably say that makes sense. Yeah, so Tusk is the leader of the Riveteers, you assume at this point, pretty confidently. You know that they are kind of known for their ruthlessness. Not necessarily that they were particularly violent, but they are known. You know that Tusk's Nomad Pack, which now you identify as the Riveteers, they don't necessarily play well with other Nomad Packs. They're very territorial. They don't like. They're not aggressive necessarily. They don't like try to push out. But what you've heard is like no one's been able to like take any of their routes. They're very, very like defensive and somewhat warfaring and not entirely clean cut Nomad Pack, which kind of like has a juxtaposition with what you've heard about the Riveteers so far. So you start to think that maybe like, okay, the info I had was maybe dated. Maybe the Riveteers have kind of turned a new leaf. You're not 100% sure, but it seems like what you've heard, at least.
Maybe it's a little bit like garden centric, and they hear a Nomad Pact.
Yeah.
They ran them over Mad Max style.
Well, you do think there's probably something to it, but you do think that maybe those days are in the past, given the new information you have about the Riveteers. So, like, Tusk specifically is ruthless and a little bloodthirsty. But you know that the Riveteers aren't, so now that you know that that Tusk is in charge of the Riveteers, it kind of gives you a better picture of like the Riveteers. They're probably like a very, very efficient and strong Nomad Pack that maybe isn't like aggressive in the sense of like attacking innocents or pushing out of their territory, but extremely aggressive in defending their territory. And that's kind of like the like personnel profile you kind of like have in your head of who Tusk is at this time. Probably
they play
someone
defense like it's offense.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe someone to be feared, someone who would like very easily, like if they think that you're a threat at all, like would kill you. But if they think that you're an asset, then like they wouldn't. Or if they think that you have good intentions, that kind of thing. But hard to say. Definitely you want to tread lightly around Tusk if you ever meet Tusk.
Well, maybe saving his life is a good first impression.
Maybe. So you kind of have this internal dialogue looking at the thing, and you're like kind of thinking about it, and there's this awkward. Then Roland, you're snapped out of it as you notice there's an awkward silence in a conversation that you're somewhat a part of.
What? Oh, have you guys just stopped talking? Is that?
Michelle Green goes, pretty much.
All right. Well, it seems like hard to say whether or not this guy this time in terms of trying to kill Tusk. Are you familiar with Tusk? The two of you?
Elliot and Michelle kind of look at each other and go, never met him myself. I mean, I've heard tale that he calls the shots behind the Riveteers, but most of them don't talk too much about him.
All right. Well, it seems like this fellow was supposed to kill him or waylay him or something, but I'm guessing he did it bad a few times on account of this. And I show him the to-do list.
They look at it, and Michelle Green does chuckle. Elliot is very like somber, looking at it, being like, "Oh man, we were so had," that kind of thing. Like, be like, all of it's like, "Oh, this is such a bad situation for the town," and Michelle Green's like,
"Well, I guess we're heading north of Red Post then."
Yeah, I mean, there's a part where the mountains kind of turn. It's not too far from South Bend, just to the west of South Bend. There's a outcropping of mountainous terrain that would be pretty much due north of Red Post.
Well, I ain't really got anything else to go on, so unless anybody else has, real good, solid idea rooted in facts and evidence, it sounds like we're just driving there now.
I think so. See if we can't figure something out on the way, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure it out. Or something.
Inspiring us with your confidence, says Michelle Green.
Well, it's been a long day.
Yep.
I guess we'll get your stuff back or die trying.
Hey, I already said that to that one guy.
Oh, hey, I'm glad we're on the same page, Brandon was.
Father Wells goes, all right, well, we don't have much to offer you in the way of help. We ain't fighters. Best we can do is wish you luck, I suppose.
Well, we'll take that.
Yeah. Just stick around until we come back. Don't give up yet.
All right, and hopefully we'll have this LRC up and running. We can maybe hear back from your message, Mr. Charlotte, to South Bend, and we'll reach out to your LRC tags, I suppose, if anything amiss happens up here.
You want me to take a look at that? I could.
We're making progress. It just takes time.
All right.
Shouldn't take too much longer. It got misaligned is all when that fella ran into it. And Michelle Green says, "Hell of a shot," to Pax.
I heard Gravity did that one to him.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we'll just. Which way is it? Can you show Kinsey which way it is? Oh, okay.
Kinsey knows. It's to the southwest of here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we'll send you an LRC when we can. Hopefully, you'll get it. And I guess this is kind of awkward. So.
Yeah, this conversation is painfully awkward, and I'd like to be out of it. How about you two? How are you feeling about this?
I've been trying to engage in it, so let's just...
Well, now, see, that's contributing to it. Miss Green,
thank you
Mr.
so
Wells.
much for getting the townsfolk to calm down a little. And we're sorry that, we couldn't solve the mystery sooner so that you didn't get taken advantage of by the people. And then we're sorry that maybe those people got a little jumpy with us around. And we're sorry we had to leave right away to save somebody's life. And so basically, and then I'm sorry about this conversation because it's just, I don't know how to get out of it. And so
Father Wells puts his hand up and he goes, "It's all right. If y'all can get the Riveteers back on track, that's good enough for me. And hopefully if the Cloud Cutters relocate our gear in a way that you are able to stumble upon it, you see fit to return it to us." But honestly, as far as I see, anything that keeps us from having to do business with cutthroats like the Cloud Cutters, that'll be ultimately the best for the town.
Are we going to South Post next? Is that where we're going?
Red Post, I believe it was.
Red Post. We could take.
You know that Red Post is further away from the mountain. Like, if it's in the mountains and due north of Red Post, it's closer to Soft Bend than Red Post for sure. It's like to the northwest of South Bend, like maybe a day in your truck. And for Red Post, it's half a week to a week due south.
Okay.
But if you take Red Post as kind of like a longitude marker, it goes straight up and eventually hits the mountains.
All right. Well, we'll be back when we can, right?
And Michelle Green turns to you, Kinsey, and goes, "Eh," and she shouts, "Oi!"
No.
Bobby, get your ass out here.
No.
Grab your favorite bottle. And there's like a moment, and then the doors to the saloons flies open, and Bobby Klein steps out, and he goes, "What did I do?" She goes, "Nothing. Bring the bottle over here." And he comes over. He's holding a bottle of whiskey. And she takes it from him, and he turns to the three of you and goes, "That was a hell of a gunfight you had the other day."
Well, I trust you're already starting about.
I might be able to work it into a thing or two. Kind of gave me a little inspiration.
We'd love to hear a tweet of Ken, Charlotte, Ben Harrison.
We would, but the thing is we gotta get going.
We have to go. I'm so sorry. Oh no, I've gotta, cause the truck. And
the truck will be fine.
No, Kinsey, look. Oh no, there's a gumbaroo.
What?
Michelle, like Bobby's like, "Oh well," and Michelle's like, "We ain't got time for that," and she holds out the bottle to you, Kinsey, and she goes, "For the road."
Thank you kindly. I do appreciate it.
And Bobby looks around and goes, "Y'all going after the cloud cutters then?"
So they say.
We're trying to.
He goes, "One moment." And he pulls out of his jacket. He opens up a little case. He grabs a couple things, shuts it, and then he reaches in his back pocket and looks to you, Ken. Or Kinsey. He goes, "Ken, hopefully this can give you good fortune on the road. I feel like having a full heart and soul is important to survival out here in the Badlands." And he reaches out and sets in your open hand 4 cassettes. Or 4, not cassettes. What was I calling them before?
Cartridges.
Cartridges.
Cartridges,
Four cartridges of Bobby Klein originals, and a square device that they can slot into. It has a little magnetic clip on the back of it and a little adjustable volume, and it has like a little small circular speaker in the center. He sets that in and he goes, "Now, this is yours. And, well, once you're done killing those cloud cutter grifters, I'm sure they'll have enough spurs for you to pay me back." And he taps your hand twice and sets back and he goes, "All told, it's about 2, 4, 6, 8. It's about 12 spurs."
This is a very kind loan. This is very kind. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm very excited about this. Thank you, dear. And my compatriots, they love hearing these Bobby Klein. It really make the time pass.
I hope it does, sir, and I hope to see you again ere too long.
You shall. Oh, you know you shall. And we'll tell you of our exploits. Again, I'm ready for that song. You know, me and Patty have a bet going as to who's going to be the star of your next. I say Patty Aioli isn't the name of a star. Ken Charlotte. Now there's
Oh, God, no. Why? Why would you do that, Ken? Why? We
and
have to go save your town now.
yeah, Father Wells is like, all right, this is enough. You go, Bobby, go back inside. I'll buy you a drink. Michelle, and she's just chuckling to herself. She's just laughing. She's like, what?
Turn the car on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, what? Hey, we've had a hard couple of days. I had to watch that unfold.
I reverse very close, like not too close, but very close to where Kinsey is and Roland is, and fellas, get in the car.
I thought I was
Right
still
now.
in the car. I didn't know. 20 goddamn minutes.
Oh my God. All right, don't rush it. Thank you again, townsfolk.
I will
see
literally
on the
pick
other
you
side.
up and put
Okay,
you in
all
the
right,
car.
I'm
Get
coming.
in the car right now.
Oh. Trying to have a good ride off into the sunset.
No.
This moment.
And you begin heading south towards the mountains to confront whatever ill fate has befallen the Riveteers. And that's
I'm sorry. Patty aioli?
What?
Don't you think it fits? I thought it was rather striking and mysterious.
No.
No,
it does not.
not even
That
a
ain't
little.
a name.
Patty
That ain't a
is
person.
I'm not food.
I'm sorry, is aioli a type of...
It's a moratorium now, Kinsey. You
Oh my god. Okay. And that's when we're in the session. All right. I don't believe we had any questions submitted for the Discord, but if any of you who are watching in the chat have anything you want to, any questions you want to shoot our way, now would be the time. One thing, while you may or may not be typing questions in the chat, one thing I did notice that no one did throughout this entire session was call out when they hit any of their advancement triggers, which is foolish because it could get you grit. But let's see. Did anyone get anything?
I only hit one of my advancement triggers.
What'd you get?
Someone is threatened with violence.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's it. Everything else is an open fight is avoided.
Mm-hmm.
You take something you want but don't deserve,
Mm-hmm.
unless you count someone's life.
No.
And then you get away with breaking the law.
No.
Gotta change my triggers. They
Yeah.
suck.
So that's one for Pax.
A piece of gear was modified or repaired.
Yeah, several.
I assumed a fake identity.
Yep.
I think I mean, maybe I talked at least Father Wells out of conflict with me, if not Duke, for the moment.
Yeah, Duke and like the town in general, like they were
Sure.
like freaking out a little bit about the gunfight. You managed to calm it down.
And I would like to see your argument for how I haven't pushed my luck despite a clear chance to fail.
No, yeah, being in that car, driving that car, and all, yeah, for sure.
I'll take
So
the grit.
that's
You?
5 total and a grit for Roland. What about you,
And
Kinsey?
for Kinsey, several predators were evaded. The members of...
No, they weren't evaded. They were killed.
Oh.
Evaded implies that you avoid them.
Well, we don't
the
know that
Wassets.
one was killed. I mean, she just shot him out of...
Yeah, gravity
Like,
could have
got a
done
kill
it.
shot. Greg
Hold
could've
on, no, I
grabbed
can
me.
actually get us this XP. We drove through Wasset territory.
And
You said it
specifically evaded those...
that we
Oh,
drove around
the-
to avoid Wassets.
Also, Sky evaded dying from whatever contagion she has in her blood.
Yeah, that contagion, which would count as a predator.
Fine. The contagion's not a predator, but the Wassets are.
Oh.
You gotta choose your
Uh,
words carefully, Tommy.
I don't think a trap was utilized successfully. I don't think someone was shown how to survive in the wild.
You can have that. You get a grit.
All right. Yeah. I like grit.
because
For
of because of what
reason.
because
Because it's a revelatory.
yeah, the revelatory
Yeah.
what happened with Sky and them. Yeah.
Also, neither of you could have gotten that car around that rock, and now maybe you could.
No.
And then also, I think Patience reported when Sky had to stop to see whether or not like her contagion thing was actually like going away and going to kill
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
We were
Patience-
in the middle of a rush.
Yep. For sure. So that's 8 total, I think.
We gotta
So
go
we are
to a
at
place where I can
177.
break in and steal shit.
Yeah, that's true. Get back out in the wild too.
Ugh.
You're
My
driving,
triggers
you're
do
driving out
nothing.
in the wild right now.
So what did you say? What are we at? now?
8 total.
177.
All right. It doesn't look like we have any questions in the chat or the Discord, so I believe this is where we're going to end this stream. Thank you so much to everyone who was watching. Hopefully you had a good time watching them. I'm glad I didn't kill you guys. I thought for a second that maybe y'all were gonna die. So I'm glad you guys managed to survive that, especially when you lost control of the car. Jesus.
Yeah, but Tommy, I hadn't even yet tried to drive the car.
Jesus. All right. Cool. Tons of fun. We are going to be on again next week, which is March 10th at 8 p.m. And that's when we're going to be doing the giveaway of the cool prints. Some cool art. Win some art. Get some art. It's going to be great.
Signed print. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be lovely.
Signed prints. Crystal Soli. She's amazing. And yeah. Tune in. Subscribe. Follow. Like. All that goodness. We love you guys. This is going to be it. Bye.